Through their Colorful Communities program, they team up with community partners to protect and beautify neighborhoods globally. Since 2015, they've completed over 500 projects, including one I had the chance to be a part of right here in Pittsburgh. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are home for the holidays. Start a 5-game home stretch at PPG Paints Arena on Tuesday, December 9th against the Anaheim Ducks.
Here they come into the Leaf zone. It's Crosby far half wall. Over to Carlson in the circle. He scores! First goal of the year for Erik Karlsson. And it breaks the ice here in Canada. A 1-0 lead.
Make sure to come hungry. It's the second Dollar Dog Night of the season. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Looking for the perfect gift? Rivers Casino has you covered. For a limited time, purchase a $100 non-gaming gift card and receive a $20 bonus gift card. Whether it's for your family or yourself, it's the perfect holiday gift. Visit the cashier or stop by the Landing Hotel to purchase today. And we'll see you this holiday at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This segment of the UPMC Penguins pregame show is brought to you by Labatt and Labatt Blue Light, the official import beers of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Always enjoy responsibly.
By Kevin Hayes, Malkin will chase it down, pitch it over to Wotherspoon to Carlson near circle, carries it in, fires a redirection. And it goes off the skate of Thompson, but out towards center ice.
He's looking for that backdoor play there, Joe. Erik Karlsson is, and just hasn't been able to find it yet.
Here he comes again, slows down in the circle for Hayes. They score! Guess what he found? 3-1 Penguins over the Sabres.
That was an amazing sequence right there the other night. Right before Erik Karlsson set up Kevin Hayes for that goal, he did try to set up another player with a kind of a shot pass, looking for a guy in the back door, one of his specialties. And in both instances, he carried the puck down the right side of the ice in the offensive zone. And I remember thinking the last couple of years that Erik Karlsson wasn't activating enough off the blue line. He was trying to pass pucks or shoot pucks through people. And I thought that with his legs and his ability to kind of get lost in the offensive zone, it would be a better idea if he was kind of jumping in and making plays like the ones he made the other night. And, I think he'll continue to do that. And he's had a lot of success as a result. He's having a heck of a year. Now, he's not scoring a lot of goals. He only has one goal. But I think what's happened is he's gotten 13 assists because he does make those passes like the one he made to Hayes the other night. So he keeps the goaltender guessing, keeps him off guard because he makes it look like he might shoot the puck. And then instead, he looks for a player on the other side. And in this case, he zipped one into the slot to Kevin Hayes. And for Hayes to be able to score there, he's got to really lean on his stick and really kind of make it strong because the puck's coming 100 miles an hour on the pass by Karlsson. And so he's just using the pace of that pass, as my partner Bob Airy used to say, to then direct it into the goal. So Hayes will just put that stick down the blade and boom, that puck just jumps right off the blade of his stick and into the net. And that's what happened the other night. And it was a big goal for many reasons. The Penguins needed that cushion in the game. They got that from Hayes, and it was his first goal of the year. So he was really excited.
Yeah, I mean, he's an elite player. He's having a great start to the year. He's fun to watch, and when you're on the ice and you think offense, you think the way he thinks and try to find open ice, it's kind of cool to kind of see what he can do out there and just try to get to open areas and kind of let him do his thing. Yeah, that was huge for me. I think that was probably my biggest celebration I've had in years. It was just a relief. I feel like I'm getting good looks, and nothing was really finding the back of the net. So I'm going to use that as a springboard, hopefully. I think our details are really locked in, and that's one of the details we've talked about. And it's when things are going bad, I think you can see that those details aren't there. And I think we're just playing as a 5-man unit. The goalies are the backbone of our team right now, and hopefully we can get a couple of wins before the end of the month.
That's it. That's the key quote, the 5-man unit. No question about it. And Dan Muse has really brought that, especially from the blue line in, where everybody seems to be able to change position and keep their eye on who's moving up so they can, cover up for that. And as a result, the Penguins' offense is more chaotic for the opposition, and they're able to make some things happen. So hopefully they'll keep doing that, and certainly Erik Karlsson is a big part of that. We'll be back with Musers Musings right after this on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Let it snow, and...
Light the tree, pour some cocoa, and press play on your favorite Christmas memories. Hallmark Radio is here.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
From timeless carols to heartwarming hits of the season, it's the channel that makes every gathering a little brighter and every drive a little merrier.
No matter how far away you roam.
Hallmark Radio, spreading holiday cheer now for a limited time on Channel 105 on most radios and on the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
View the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Nation.com. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now it's time for Muses Musings.
One of the big challenges for all teams in the NHL is their ability to stop plays in the defensive zone. You've seen it where the puck goes round and round and teams keep shooting pucks and they get sustained offense, and for some reason the defensive team has a tremendous difficulty in getting the puck, getting possession, or getting it out. We saw that the other night when the Sabres had 19 shots in the third period. It happens, and you have to avoid those extended shifts against in your own end, says Dan Muse.
I think when you're in those situations, though, it's about what are you doing next, and making sure that you're not allowing them to stack shifts and you're not allowing them to have another one. And how can we change the momentum? Because when you get those extended shifts, and we had them too. If you go through the second period, it was almost like, the first half of it, like we had those shifts, and then the second half it went the other way. But it ends up being, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen in our game. You get caught, you're tired, your D get caught, and then you just don't want it. You don't want it to be two shifts in a row. And so it's on that next one. Sometimes we just need to get the puck in the offensive zone, and it doesn't need to be. You don't have to go out there and do anything, unbelievably. We just need a good shift. We need to control play, and then we're looking to stack the next shift, and then we look to stack the next shift, and then when that happens, momentum starts to swing your way.
Coming up, 2 minutes with the old 2-9er on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
My dog Montague has always looked out for other people. So when he saw that our neighbor was hungry, we both jumped into action. We grabbed cans, friends, and a sled to get everyone the food they need. Eventually, the whole neighborhood joined in, donating food and money to help. Because it takes a neighborhood to feed a neighborhood. Visit unhungry.org to help feed yours. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Since FNB has been the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've realized our teams aren't that different. We both have great checking, at home and on the road. With FNB's league-leading banking app, you get access to a deep lineup of checking accounts. And we both know the importance of big saves, like saving you time with our eStore Common app. One application for all your goals. Can your bank do that? Find out at fnb-online.com/eStore. FNB, member FDIC.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Head to PPG Paints Arena on Saturday, November 29th as Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins take on Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Drop back for Crosby, blasting over the Leafs line. Rips a shot, went wide. Here's Russ, second try. They score! Brian Rust on the second attempt after Crosby just weaved through the crease. And the Penguins
Puck drops at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. This copyrighted broadcast is the property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of all or part of this broadcast, or any descriptions or accounts of this game therein without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to the Old Niner. 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 Welcome to the Old Niner.
Time for 2 minutes with the Old 2-Niner. Brought to you by your Pittsburgh area Lexus dealers. Experience amazing.
Welcome to the Old 2-Niner Pens and Blue Jackets tonight. We're joined now by Penguins forward Connor Dewar. And Connor, you've been elevated to the penthouse, so to speak, up with Sidney Crosby. I just want to ask you about your style of play. Does it change at all? Do you have to have a different mindset at all? Where most of the season you've been playing with Blake Lizotte, and now you're up with Sid.
No, I wouldn't say so. I think the task for anyone who gets elevated like that is to not change, right? You're moving up because you're playing well in your role and doing what you do and how you support the team best. So yeah, I just try to be myself.
I remember years past, players like Chris Kunitz or Pascal Dupuis that a lot of times they were multifunctional players like yourself, that they would have to remind themselves that do the things that work best for me. And that's the simple things, right? Connor, it's whether hunting down loose pucks, getting to the front of the net, center lane drive, the give and go. Those are all things that I think are safe to say are part of your strong suit.
Yeah. Every time I touch the ice, I'm trying to play hockey the right way. That's the way I learn how to play it. And, doing those simple things are an easy way to support your teammates out there.
Any thoughts of playing the Blue Jackets? You had a tough 1-goal loss in the shootout to them earlier in October. This is a big game for both of you. You look at where the standings are in the Metropolitan Division. Anything on the top of your brain as far as playing the Jackets?
They're important points against these guys. You look around the standings in the league, everyone's in it. It's kind of a bit of an outlier of a season, I think, at this point in the way everyone's really close and kind of fighting for those playoff spots. And yeah, so it's maybe more than ever now that these points in November really matter come April.
No, that leads me to my final question. The game against Buffalo, just how big of a win was that against Buffalo? You'd have to admit, Connor, there's been times in November where things weren't going your way as well as they were in October. You feel like a win like that in front of your home fans, right before the holiday is a kind of win that you can be a building block?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird schedule for us in November, having played, almost seems like we were playing 3 or 4 games a week to start, and then having the break in Sweden, and then being home for a week and only having kind of the 1 or 2 games. Kind of a weird feeling for us, I think. I don't want to say it throws you out of rhythm. You get a chance to rest and get guys healthy and stuff, but it's definitely a different pause in the season for us. So yeah, to get some points out of that is big.
Thanks for doing this, Connor. The best. Go get the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Connor Dewar, and you're 2 minutes with the Old 2-Niner. Enjoy the hockey game.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, because life. Now it is time for the Highmark Injury Update.
By the way, Connor Dewar will be on the fourth line tonight, playing right wing with Blake Lizotte and Jona Koppanen on the left, and it'll be Kevin Hayes moving up to the top line to play with Sidney Crosby and Brian Rustin. Ben Kindle is back in the lineup for Pittsburgh, centering the third line. The injuries, Raquel, Caleb Jones, Brazeau, Achari, and Hollander for the Penguins, Eric Goodbranson, Boone Jenner, Matthew Olivier, and Kirill Marchenko. I want to make sure I can't read my own writing. Kirill Marchenko for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Powerball lottery is this. This is the jackpot, $719 million. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. You can do so online or at your local retailer, and benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Joe and Phil will have the call for you from Columbus coming up in a moment on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bork. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Together with the Penguins, PPG increases access to free STEM education through the annual Science at Play and Sticks and STEM events at PPG Paints Arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Together with our Pledge Impact partners, Davey Tree, Excelitas, Duquesne Light Company, and WM, Penguins Pledge is a commitment to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
Ever dreamed about signing with the Penguins? Now you can. With the Penguins Power Play package from FNB, you can be a part of the team with a Pens branded debit card, cashback credit card, and personal checks. Plus, score exclusive rewards like discounts on tickets, Pens gear, and Pens gear and more. Sign with the Penguins at fnb-online.com/Penguins. FNB, the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins. FNB, member FDIC, credit card subject to approval. See site for details.
My dog Montague has always looked out for other people. So when he saw that our neighbor was hungry, we both jumped into action. We grabbed cans, friends, and a sled to get everyone the food they need. Eventually, the whole neighborhood joined in, donating food and money to help. Because it takes a neighborhood to feed a neighborhood. Visit unhungry.org to help feed yours. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Tonight from the Civic Arena, the Penguins meet the New York Rangers.
Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network proudly presents Penguins Hockey. The Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank and brought to you in part by Number One Cochrane, Go One Better, by IC Light, by McDonald's, providing you the official burger of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Get Go Cafe and Market, Get Go, where the Pens go, by Coca-Cola, founding partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Clearview Federal Credit Union, helping people enjoy a better life, and by Indra Energy, an official Penguins Pledge champion partner. Penguins Hockey on the Radio begins right now.
One day after Thanksgiving, and 8 teams are within 3 points of a wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. The Pittsburgh Penguins sit 1 point back of a playoff spot and sit 1 point ahead of tonight's opponent, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, Penguins fans. Welcome to Nationwide Arena. Alongside the old 2-Niner, I'm Joe Brand, and Borky. To some, it may seem early to talk about the postseason, but this is typically the date on the calendar where a lot of people start to discuss which teams have real playoff chances. Both teams tonight are sitting probably a little bit lower in the standings that they'd like to, so this is a pretty big 2 points for two teams.
Good to be with you, Joe, and you are exactly right that you look at the Eastern Conference where you have 14 teams basically separated by 3 points, and the Penguins woke up this morning in a wild card spot, but because the New York Rangers gave it pretty good to the Boston Bruins this afternoon, the Penguins are on the outside looking in right now, and you're right behind them are these Columbus Blue Jackets. So it's a dog pile. It's probably going to be that way the rest of the way, which means no nights off, right? That means that if you have your B game, you're probably not going to win. And I think that win the other night against the Buffalo Sabres was just what the Penguins needed. They had everybody contribute to that win from the goaltender on out. They're going to need that and some against the Columbus Blue Jackets team, which is, I think, if I had to choose one word, scrappy, right? Scrappy. It's not always pretty with the Columbus Blue Jackets, but they've got injuries just like the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they're just trying to find ways, a lot of low scoring, a lot of tight checking, a lot of one-goal type of games where they're eking out points right now just to stay with that pile in the Metro and the East.
In their last 5 games, the Columbus Blue Jackets are 1-2-2. They've been playing a lot of close games, especially with tonight's goaltender in Jet Greaves. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but you mentioned the injuries. Both teams are dealing with a lot of injuries. Obviously, the Penguins without Ricard Raquel, Justin Brazeau, Noel Acciari, just to name a few. The Columbus Blue Jackets don't have Boone Jenner, Matthew Olivier, Kirill Marchenko, Eric Goodbranson, Jake Christensen, all out for the Jackets tonight. I asked you before the game, which team has the more significant injuries? Aside from that question, both these teams are dealing with significant injuries. It's going to come down to depth scoring tonight.
I think if you're asking me if these are long-term injuries, I think it's probably about even. It hurts both teams. When you think of the personnel that are out, it's tough to replace Kirill Marchenko. It's tough to replace their captain, Boone Jenner, who has played more games as a Columbus Blue Jacket than anybody else. For the Penguins, it's been tough to replace some of those Brazeau and Ricard Raquel. More importantly, it's been tough. It's been a bit of a revolving door with Gino and Sid. We're going to get that to a little bit because that door continues to revolve on who's going to play with Sid and who's going to play with Gino. But in the meantime, the players that have filled those roles have done an admirable job to pretty much keep this train moving down the tracks for the Penguins.
There's been a few interesting lineup changes today. Paul Steigerwald mentioned in the pregame show, Kevin Hayes is up on the top line with Sidney Crosby. Connor Dewar's back on that 4th line. They brought up Tommy Novak to be on Evgeny Malkin's line, but also Tristan Jarry is playing in back-to-back games. It's the first time he's done that this year, and that is significant because for the most part of this season, the Penguins have rotated goaltenders, whether it's Sergei Murashov, Artur Shilovs, or Tristan Jarry. Dan Muse has never gone out and deliberately said we're rotating each guy every day because I think you have to anticipate an opportunity like tonight. It probably makes most sense, at least it made most sense to us coming into the arena today for morning skate, that this should be Tristan Jarry's game, and he does get the start for tonight.
I'll start with Hayes and with Jarry. Kevin Hayes, listen, he's a polished pro. He can go up there, maybe not long term, but in the short term, he just had a goal last game, get him up there with Sid, and that kind of takes the pressure off Connor Dewar. Connor Dewar did a fine job, but I think that Kevin Hayes is an elevation. We've seen Tommy Novak play with Evgeny Malkin. I don't think there's going to be a big drop-off there. But as far as Tristan Jarry, I think a couple things. Number one, his last loss was to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who the Penguins play tomorrow night. His numbers against Toronto are not that great, but his numbers against the Columbus Blue Jackets are off the charts good. First of a back-to-back. If you're saying that Tristan Jarry is your number one goaltender, which I think he is, he's played like a number one goaltender this season, then he should get the first game of the back-to-back, especially when his numbers are so glaring. On the good against Columbus, not so good against Toronto.
Yeah, Jarry 8-2-2 against Columbus, a .264 goals against average, and .914 save percentage in 13 career games against the Jackets. Our starting lineups are presented by Clearview Federal Credit Union. We'll have puck drop for you next. It's the Penguins and the Blue Jackets from Columbus, Ohio. And it's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank. No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins. The Pittsburgh Penguins are home for the holidays. Start a 5-game home stretch at PPG Paints Arena on Tuesday, December 9th against the Anaheim Ducks. Here they come into the lead zone. It's Crosby, far half wall, over to Carlson in the circle. He scores! First goal of the year for Erik Karlsson, and it breaks the ice here in Canada. A 1-0 lead. Make sure to come hungry. It's the second Dollar Dog Night of the season. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com. 2 things you can't argue: everyone loves free, and everyone loves chocolate chip cookies. Get to the Penguins mobile app and grab your offer for a free chocolate chip cookie from select Crumble locations on any Penguins home game day. From Crumble, official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
In Pittsburgh, champions aren't just born, they're built. And NSS Life has been part of that winning legacy for decades.
We've stood with the city's champions on and off the field,
building futures that are strong, secure, and built to last.
NSS Life is proud to be part of Pittsburgh's past and your future.
NSS Life, the official life insurance company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NSS Life, where family matters.
We're all set for hockey here in Columbus, Ohio, as the Pittsburgh Penguins visit the Columbus Blue Jackets to start off the first half of a back-to-back. How's it going, Penguins fans? Alongside the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand, and we are just simply delighted to have you here with us for another edition of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. Penguins coming into this game 11-6-5. Columbus Blue Jackets 11-9-4. These two teams separated by just 1 point in the Metropolitan Division. It's their second matchup of the season, as the Blue Jackets were able to take down the Penguins in overtime at PPG Paints Arena earlier this year. It's meeting number 2 out of 4 total this year between the Pens and the Jackets. They will meet up again in January here in Columbus before wrapping up the season series later on in the month of January in Pittsburgh. Drop of the puck, and we're underway here at Nationwide Arena as Sidney Crosby takes the drop. Columbus Blue Jackets win and control. Opening faceoffs brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. Columbus Blue Jackets are in their alternate dark blue jerseys with the cannon and a circle emblem in the middle of their sweaters. Pittsburgh Penguins in their road white sweaters. They're attacking from right to left with Tristan Jarry in net. Again, Jet Greaves in net for the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. Columbus takes it over the Penguins line. Here's Miles Wood chipping it back to Orwenski. Centering pass. Pad save by Jarry. Penguins clear it up but not out. And a quick wrister from Provorov. Sizzles wide of the net over to the near corner. Columbus still with it. Jackets take it up along the near wall. Orwenski in the slot. Ripped the shot. Went off the skate of Sid. Over to the far corner. Provorov plays it. Went for a centering pass. None of the Jackets were home. It goes all the way down to Columbus's end. Penguins will get a change. Penguins beginning the first half of a back-to-back. They'll be back home tomorrow night hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs before a 3-game road trip that starts in Philly to kick off the month of December. Penguins trying to break the puck up in the Columbus zone. Go ahead.
Excuse me, part of the Leafs are also in the back-to-back, first of a back-to-back. They're in Washington tonight.
15 games on the ticket in the NHL tonight. Here's a turnover. Columbus has it. A quick one-timer from Sillinger in the near circle. Penguins were able to break it off, and now a big pad save by Jarry. After one of the Jackets was trying to tuck it home, it was Luca Pinelli. Now Severson with it in the slot. Cruises in, fires it off the elbow. Columbus firing on all cylinders just a minute and a half into this game.
I think that caught the iron, partner.
Yeah.
I went right over the elbow of Tristan Jarry. Damon Severson gave you a how do you do, see you later to Tommy Novak. A bit of an ankle breaker move. Novak down and out. And Severson walks it right down Main Street. splitting a couple of the Penguins, and then getting to the forehand from about 20 feet away and wire that off the crossbar. Guess what, partner? CBJ has come to play.
And the Jackets 1-2-2 in their last 5 games. They're coming off an overtime loss to the Maple Leafs here at home. That was on Wednesday. Jet Greaves in net for the Columbus Blue Jackets. His last 8 games have all been decided by 1 goal. He's gone 4-0-4 during that stretch. So he's helped the Jackets pick up at least a point in all of them, but the Jackets have already played in a lot of 1-goal games. They're 8-4-4 overall.
Yeah, 7 of their last 10 and 18 of their 24 games have been 1-goal games.
Penguins now with it in the Jacket zone. It's Dewar now on his 4th line, trying to crash towards the net, but he gets taken down by Brendan Smith, playing in just his 2nd game with the Jackets, now in his 6th team of his career. Now it's a loose puck raced down by Voronkov in the Penguins zone. Dumbo with a good defensive play to limit Voronkov's chances and able to get a piece on his shot that skims the netting, stops the clock. A little over 2 minutes gone. Shot attempts in favor of Columbus, 5-0.
I'd like to correct myself. It's not 18 of 24. It's 16 of 24. And in those 16 games, they're 8-4-4. So no surprise, in the first time these two teams met, it was a 1-goal game. It was a game where the Penguins scored early in the first period, scored late in the first period, but ended up losing that game in the shootout. And they had to come back late in the 3rd period with a couple of goals from Letang and Russ just to get it to bonus hockey.
Penguins were able to extend their home point streak against the Blue Jackets. 18 straight. They've picked up at least a point against Columbus, but the last 2 have gone to the Jackets. As this is going to be a penalty on the Penguins.
No, I think it's going to be on Zach Astor-Reese, and they're going to look at Parker Wolderspoon to see if it's 2 or 4. And here's your call. I think it's just a deuce.
Columbus 27, 2 minutes for high sticking.
So the first power play goes to the number 1 power play in the National Hockey League.
The Penguins coming into this game at 31.4%. They have cooled off a little bit as of late. The Pens just 2 for their last 12. Meanwhile, Columbus has a penalty kill that's not all that great this year, but they've been heating up. Their PK is at 87% in their last 16 games, but they come in tonight with the 27th best PK in the NHL. They quickly win the draw, clear it down.
Ben Kindle back into the lineup. He gets plugged into this number 1 power play unit.
He takes it over the Jackets line, rims it around the boards, over to the near corner. Brian Russ tries to race it down. Provorov gets in front, though, gets it ahead to Coyle. Now over to Monahan with some speed in the Penguin zone. He fires, and a save by Jari. Penguins play the rebound, dish it up to Crosby. Now up ahead to Kindle. He'll drop it back to Sid, far side of the Jackets logo. Had some trouble getting into the Jackets zone. Carlson sweeps it over to the near side, but a hustling Brendan Gaunce races after it. Russ tries to keep that one away.
Yeah, what you're seeing here, Joe, is nothing fancy from the Blue Jackets. This is just super aggressive penalty killing.
And now they're offside as they were trying to create a little 2-on-1 after breaking off the puck in the neutral zone. 70 seconds to go on the Penguins power play, but nothing shown so far.
It's basically Dean Evison, the head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, saying, we're not going to let them get comfortable. We're not going to let them set up. We're not going to let them get into any of their formations. If they're going to beat us, they're going to beat us with the perfect play, because we're going to be on our toes and we're going to be in their face. So how do you beat that, the Pittsburgh Penguins? You got to get ready. You got to be ready for that and move the puck a lot quicker than they did so far here in the first minute of this power play.
Second unit already out there for the Penguins power play. Ahead to Anthony Mantha. Try to chip it over the Jackets line. It goes loose over to the near corner. Ville Koivunen pokes at it. Now swings it around the boards. Chris Letang at the far half wall. Takes it down to the corner. Over to Koivunen. In the circle. Wrist a shot. Got deflected and maybe kicked wide by Greaves. Played by Fabro of Columbus. He'll clear it down on the Penguins end. Stopped by Tristan Jarry as the Jackets will get a change. 37 seconds to go on the Penguins power play. Kevin Hayes skates it through the neutral zone over the Jackets line. Chips it to the near side for Novak. He'll play it off the end wall to the far side for Mantha. Collects it at the corner. Tried to backhand it along the end boards. Provorov knocks down a tumbling puck. Sends it along the near wall. Koivunen sent it deep. Now Mantha's got it. Dropped it back for Novak, but Denton Matichuk got to it first. Clears it around the boards, and it goes all the way down to the Penguins' end. 15 seconds to go on their power play. Maybe one last rush available. Jarry slows it down for Letang. As Blake Lazat's now out there on the ice. Yona Koppanen gets it to Dewar as they sweep it over the Jackets line. Out of the box comes Aston Reese. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins with the puck in the Jackets' end, but Columbus chips it along the end wall. Fabro waits at the corner, trying to chip it along the near boards. Aston Reese, fresh out of the box, will play it up to the neutral zone. Now Kent Johnson pokes it down to the Penguins' end. Ryan Shea races in, tries to play the puck in behind Jari's net. Quick shot on that, hit the side of the cage. Shea will settle it down in behind Jari's net at the near corner. He flips it up along the boards. Fabro keeps it alive. Spins it over to the far side. Lazat first to get there, though. He gets it to Koppanen, who will bring it up towards center ice. Pops it up, though, to Brendan Smith. Adam Fantilli, playing in his junior season in the NHL, chips it over the Penguins line. Ryan Shea gets to it first, though. Cranks it over to Parker Wotherspoon. He'll curl around in the corner of his own zone, sweep it over to Ryan Shea. We've got no score. Well, just over 5 minutes gone in this hockey game. Columbus with most of the offensive momentum. They're out shooting the Penguins 8-2 as there's a shot on net in and out of the glove of Jet Greaves from Ryan Graves at the near point, and he freezes the rebound as it came fluttering out of his glove. No score with 14:36 left in this first period.
Yeah, partner, every time we come into this building, I do what you just did, where they have on the clock, they rotate through shots and shots attempt. There's no other building in the league that makes it confusing for us here in the booth. We just want to glance through quick and look at the shots. Shot attempts, 8-3 Columbus. Now wait for it to flip. Shots on goal, 3-0 Columbus. I guarantee you that I'll do that at least twice in this game tonight.
Well, as I was mid-saying it, I realized what I was saying, and I wanted to correct myself, and then it just got too far down. But no, you're absolutely right. This will be icing by the Jackets. 14.5 to play in this first. No score.
You know, we didn't really even talk about Zach Werenski.
True.
And how special he is. A healthy Zach Werenski. He's battled through a bunch of injuries in his career. And you heard Colby Armstrong on the pregame show talking about the career year that he had, you know, in the running for the Norris Trophy. And I'll tell you what, man, he is worth the price of admission.
Carlson, a big blast, almost got the redirection with some traffic in front, but it got kicked wide. Yeah, Rowensky with 5 goals on the season. That's in the top 10 of the NHL for defensemen. It's 8th overall. But the Columbus Blue Jackets, just a good scoring team in defensemen overall. They have the 3rd most goals. Werenski with 8 goals this year. And that's 3rd most in the NHL by a defenseman. Here's a turnover. Penguins have it. Rust a shot. Shoulder save. Greaves. They fire a second attempt in front of the crease. Loose puck. They fight for it. Kicked out to Letang in the slot. Downstairs. Crosby scores! Down to a knee on the back door. Penguins strike first here in Columbus. A 1-0 lead with 13:50 to go.
A full offensive assault on the Columbus Blue Jackets and Jet Graves, and the Penguins would not be denied. I lost track of how many chances the Penguins just had there, but how about the coolness and calmness of Chris Letang as that puck eventually popped out to the high slot area, and Chris Letang is a right-hand shot. He made sure he sold shot to Jet Greaves, who was in full scramble mode, and then slid it back door to Sidney Crosby, as we've seen so many times. Sit down to that one knee to make sure he got a lot of leverage on that bottom hand and just popped it into the net behind Jet Greaves to give the Penguins a 1-0 lead.
Crosby with career goal number 639. And the Penguins with a 1-0 lead. Now Malkin leaves it for Dumba near circle. He cruises towards the net, but gets broken off by Columbus. Well, the Jackets were out shooting the Penguins, and that shots on goal, 3-0. The Penguins with 3 chances during that Crosby goal had 3 shots on goal during that entire sequence.
No, and you mentioned 3 shots and 1 post for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Severson chance was a golden chance that went off the crossbar early on in this period.
And more credit to Tristan Jarry, who came up with a handful of big saves. Again, he stopped 17 of 19 in the 3rd period against the Buffalo Sabres 2 nights ago. Big reason why the Penguins were able to muscle out that 4-2 win. Now they lead 1-0 with less than 13 to go in the first period. Fabro in the near corner of the Penguins' end sweeps it over to the far side. Carlson plays it off the end board. Ahead to Danton Heinen. They'll take it over the Jackets line. It got broken up, though, as the Penguins are offside. Columbus breaking up the play. We'll go to our first break, but with a Penguins lead, 1-0 thanks to Sidney Crosby. 12:38 to go in the first on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local CAT dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanger.
Sidney Crosby helps the Penguins to a 1-0 lead. We've got 12:38 to go in the first period from Nationwide Arena in Columbus. Along with the old 2-Niner Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, and Penguins are ready for 2 games in 2 days and 3 games in 4 days. This is the second contest of that 3-game stretch.
Well, the last 14 times the Penguins have scored first versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, the record is 12-0-2, and for Sid, he just loves playing here in CBJ. Now 8 straight games, Sid has at least 1 point here in Columbus. And in those 8 games, 9 goals and 17 points. And Chris Letang now has points in 9 of his last 10 here in Columbus. 3 goals and 10 points.
Letang with the lone assist on that goal. That's assist number 605 in his career. Penguins trying to steal the puck back in Columbus's zone. Kent Johnson, though, will play it off the boards. The Penguins take it right back. Blake Lizotte in his 4th line. Working hard at the blue line. Erik Karlsson gets it down low as a quick shot in front of the doorstep goes wide. Dewar's got it. Backhanded pass over to the far wall. Karlsson with a drive. Almost got redirected, but Koppanen couldn't get the right touch on it. Parker Wotherspoon pokes at it to keep it alive. Blake Lizotte in the near corner. Slowly rolls along the end boards. As Brendan Smith plays it up ahead to the far side. Erik Karlsson kicks the puck free. Got it to Dewar. He'll play it along the end boards to Blake Lizotte. Lizotte to the goal line. Centering pass. Almost got kicked into the goal. Connor Dewar right in front, but it goes wide. Penguins still with it.
That would have counted off the skate of Dewar.
Karlsson high slot to Crosby far circle. Back skates below the goal line. Curls around behind Greaves' net. Plays it over to the corner. Up top to Hayes. Wrister goes high and wide. Crosby plays the rebound off the end wall. Tired bunch for the Jackets here. Only a few have been able to change. Over to the near half wall for Crosby. Pitches it to the point for Wotherspoon. Another wrister saved by Greaves. Fabro's got it. He'll pitch it out to the neutral zone.
I like that decision by Parker Wotherspoon to make sure he got it at the net. That was a low, hard wrist shot. Kind of a shot pass. Looking for the paddle of Brian Rust.
Penguins have been picking up their momentum. They've had the last 5 shots on goal after Columbus had the first 3. 1-0 Pens with 11 to go in this first period from Columbus. Jackets playing catch in their own end. Rowensky sends it ahead as Lundestrom will pitch it down to the Penguins' end, near corner. Letang looked to clear it out. It goes off the near boards, rolls out to the neutral zone. Brian Rust chips at it, but Rowensky comes away with it. Chips it over to the near circle for Letang. He was going for a stretch pass ahead. Now Novak will take the puck over the Jackets line. Quickly got stripped of it, though. Tumbling puck at center ice. Charlie Coyle flips it down to the Penguins' end, taken away by Ryan Shea. Shea, whose last goal came against the Columbus Blue Jackets, will dump it on into the near corner.
Yeah, that came 59 seconds into the hockey game.
Shea already with a career high in 10 points this year. Now the Jackets in the Penguins zone. Wrister from Pinelli far circle got blocked. Penguins cough it up though. Sillinger a drive. Dumba with a block shot. Now Novak will take it up to center ice and dump it down into the Jackets' end. Played off the wall by Severson. He coughed it up, though. Tommy Novak to the near point for Graves. Graves saucer passes it to Mantha. Curls around at the point, gets it to Malkin. He curls around at the near point. Drags, fires, saved by Greaves. Rebound pops out, but quickly taken away by Severson. Now Luca Pinelli playing in his second NHL game will dash it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Dumbo plays it off the end wall. Pushes it over to the far side. Monahan's got it. Centering pass. Pinelli a blast, but couldn't get all of it. Now Graves poking at the puck in the near corner. Dumbo will shuffle it up ahead to Ryan Graves. Couldn't clear it out just yet. They fight for the puck as Heinen will drag it out towards center. Dump it on into the Jackets zone near corner. We've got 9:20 to play in the first period. Penguins lead 1-0 thanks to a goal from Sidney Crosby. Played off the end wall. Zachary Aston Reese, the former Penguin, ahead to Denton Matejchuk. Now Pinelli over the Penguins line near corner. And that's Chinikov. Cruises over to the far side. Curls around at the far point. Dishes it to Fabro near half wall. Wrister wide of the net. He was looking for a redirection. No one was home. Kendall will swat it out to the neutral zone after sitting the last game out. And the Jackets take it back, dump it on into the Penguins end. That's icing, though. 8:53 to go in the first. Penguins lead 1-0.
Well, you like the way the Penguins bounced back after the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first 2 or 3 minutes came guns a-blazing. And the Penguins kind of weathered the storm. They got the big saves from Tristan Jarry and then Sidney Crosby. After a full-on assault by that line, is the only one that's got behind Jet Greaves.
Greaves playing in only his second career game against the Pens. First and only game was back in March of 2024. He allowed 5 goals to the Penguins that game as the Penguins ice it down.
And for Sidney Crosby, that's his first goal of the game. He's tied with 5 other players for second most. The players with the most first goals of the hockey game, Timo Meier with 5 from the New Jersey Devils, and Marty Necas, 5 with the Colorado Avalanche.
Penguins have scored first now in 3 straight games. Now outscoring opponents 21-19 in the first period, but still 8:30 to go in this one. Played along the near wall. Penguins keep it alive in the Jackets' end to Carlson at the far point. He'll swat it down deep to the far corner. Hayes plays it up along the wall, takes it to the half boards, dishes it back to Crosby. Crosby gets pinned into the boards by Provorov. It's swept up to the point. Carlson keeps it alive. It's a soft pass over to Hayes in the slot. Cuts through in between the rings. Try to get a pass to Crosby. Taken away by Columbus. Now with some speed, it's Kent Johnson ahead to Adam Fantilli. Just out of his reach, though. Played off the near corner, and Wotherspoon sends a shoulder into Fantilli along the end boards. And he sweeps it out to Brian Rust in the neutral zone. It will chip it down to Columbus's end. Penguins get a change. Under 8 to play in the first period. Penguins lead 1-0. Out shooting Columbus 6-4. As Dewar steals the puck away, takes it over the Jackets line. Far circle, fires, never got through. Blake Lizotte races after the loose puck, flips it ahead, and then took a hard hit. Now a centering pass to Koppanen, but it just goes wide. Jackets can't clear it out just yet. Ryan Shea sticking a shoulder up to knock a puck out of midair. Flipped along the far side. Dewar keeps it alive now, but Columbus is able to kick it out towards center ice. Now played ahead of the far wall. Blake Lizotte from the point. Dips it down to the corner in the Jackets end. Slowly rolls behind Jet Greaves' net. Played up to the far half wall for Charlie Coyle. He'll take it down below the goal line. In behind Greaves' net. Over to Rowinski. Played up ahead to Coyle. Far side of the neutral zone. He cuts over the Jackets logo. Now over the Penguins line on the near side. To the half boards. Throws it off the end wall to the far boards for Cole Sillinger. Hangs onto it at the point, defended by Mantha, takes it down to the corner, went for a centering pass, kicked off the skate of Chris Letang all the way down to the Jackets' end.
And the puck was coming right in front of the Jackets' bench as they were in the middle of a line change and really close to too many men on the ice.
6:40 to go in the first. Penguins lead 1-0 thanks to Sidney Crosby. Jet Greaves out of his net to stop a dumping attempt from the Penguins. Leaves it for Brendan Smith. He'll play it up ahead to Cole Sillinger. With some speed, he takes it over the Penguins line. Pitches it back to Severson. High slot. Gets it over to Smith. Far circle. Shot fired. Toe save. Jarry. Loose puck. They score. It's Monahan. He goes backhand, forehand on the Jarry rebound and gets Columbus on the board to tie this game up at 1. Monahan picking up his first goal in 10 games. We're tied at 1 with 6:20 to go in the first.
Well, the initial save by Tristan Jarry The rebound goes off the left skate of Ryan Graves, and Ryan Graves just looked like he wasn't ready. And I think that's why you saw the reaction of Ryan Graves, kind of in disbelief. It goes off the left skate of Graves and goes right to Cole Sillinger, and Sillinger just sends it back door to Monahan, who's basically got a wide open net. No chance for Tristan Jarry, and we're tied at 1.
And it was the ricochet off Graves' skate as he just turned his foot, too.
Yeah, right.
Just put it on a platter for Sillinger to feed Monahan. So a little over 6 minutes to go in the first. We're tied at 1. Monahan's third goal of the season, but the Penguins are back in the Jackets' end. It's Koivunen going for a centering pass, looking for Kindle, but too many Jackets in the way. Brendan Gaughan sent it ahead to Igor Chinikov. He's into the Jacket, rather the Penguin zone. Takes a hit from Graves at the near half boards, and it goes rolling out to Kindle, who sweep it over to Koivunen. Koivunen still looking for his first NHL goal. Will backhand chip it down to the far corner of Columbus's end. Penguins are offside. 5:43 to go in the first. Columbus has tied things up at 1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The road to MLS Cup continues with the conference finals on Sirius XM-FC. In the East, Cinderella side NYCFC battled Leo Messi and Inter Miami.
Fantastic from Inter Miami!
Then out west, San Diego FC and the Vancouver Whitecaps fight to reach their first MLS Cup final.
San Diego FC have blown the roof off!
It's the MLS Conference Finals, Saturday night at 6 Eastern on Sirius XM-FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
Just the nature of the NHL. As bad as things seem, as good as things seem, the NHL just has a way of leveling out. Everyone is doing okay. And it's just one real clump in the middle. No one's really separating. No one's really falling off completely.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Review. Clearly different. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to the Columbus. Penguins and Blue Jackets tied at 1. Hey, I want to tell you about EQT, because when America needs a power play, EQT delivers. Fueling freedom, strengthening allies, and unleashing U.S. LNG, liquid natural gas, from right here in Pittsburgh. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
That's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. Penguins and Blue Jackets are tied up at 1. 5:40 to go in the first period as Parker Wotherspoon sends a slap shot from center ice. It goes right on Jet Greaves. He stops it with a stick save. Crosby now feeds Kevin Hayes below the goal line. Hayes on this top line tonight with Brian Rust and Crosby. As Rust pokes it up towards the point. Couldn't get in there cleanly, though. Columbus looks to dig it out to the neutral zone, but it gets sent back down to the near corner of Columbus's end. Werenski plays it over to the far side, up ahead all the way down to the Penguins' end. That'll be icing. 5:14 to go in the first. We're tied at 1.
Well, Dean Evison was asked this morning about Sean Monahan and the velocity of his shot. And there was a long pause. And then there was a longer pause. And then searching for words. And he really danced around it. And the first thing that came out of his mouth, Sean Monahan's a warrior. So he mentioned a little bit how banged up he is and how he is out there just gutting it out. Well, if you don't quite have the old fastball, you got to find other ways to score. And by going to the net the way he did, he was able to get the Jackets back in this hockey game.
And Monahan with just 1 point in his last 7 games coming into tonight. And yeah, you're right. Evison kind of said a lot without saying a lot.
Well said.
Under 5 to play in the first here in Columbus. Penguins and Blue Jackets tied at 1. Lundestrom takes it over the Penguins line. Miles Wood wrists one wide of the net. Goes off the end glass over to the far half boards. Penguins sweep it away. Get it to Ryan Shea. They'll bring it up towards center ice, near side, dump it into the Jackets' end. Took a weird bounce off the near corner, jumped over the stick of the goaltender, Jet Greaves. Played over to the near side, Severson pitches it up to Johnson. Now flipped over to Voronkov, over the Penguins line, far circle. Got around Wotherspoon, but Ryan Shea gets to the puck first. He kicks it around the boards. Blake Lizotte tries to chip it out. Fantilli keeps it alive. Played along the near wall. Now Lizotte will poke it out towards center. 4 minutes to go in the first. Penguins and Jackets tied at 1. There's Kent Johnson over the Penguins line. Far circle. Got stripped by Malkin. A drive from Matejchuk off the end boards. Voronkov's got it behind Jari's net. Up to the near point for Severson. Sweeps it over to Matejchuk. Back to Severson. High slot. Wrist one. High of the net. Off the end boards. It's played by Kent Johnson. He'll bring it to the near side. Curl around to the circle. Centering pass. Fantilli rips one. Block shot from the Penguins. And taken away by Koponen. Over to the far side of the neutral zone. Columbus maintains control. They'll pitch it back. Try to re-rack for their own doing, and now the Penguins break it up. It's Graves cranking it down into the Jackets' end. Graves stops it with his goalie stick in behind his net. Left it for Matejchuk. He'll shovel it out to the neutral zone. Matt Dumba races it down in the Penguins' end. 3:10 to go in the first. Penguins and Jackets tied up at 1. Anthony Mantha skates it up towards center ice. Almost collided with his own teammate of Graves. Meanwhile, Monahan pressuring for the puck. Mantha with a rink-wide pass. No one was home. Malkin will pump it out from the near boards, but it's kept alive by Fabro. Now fought for by Tommy Novak. He luckily kicks it out to the neutral zone, but Columbus takes it again. Dumps it down into the Penguins' end. Graves races after it in the far corner. Columbus being a nuisance in the last few minutes here. 2:35 to go in the first. Graves at center ice will fling it down to the Jackets' end. Glove saved by Greaves, that is. Don't play it ahead.
Is that Greaves on Graves?
Graves on Greaves, actually. Good gravy. They fight for the puck in between the benches. Ben Kindle comes away with it to Koivunen in the high slot. Leaves it over for Wotherspoon. Wrister blocker save from Greaves. Rebound to the near corner. Chipped out by Columbus out towards center ice. Now ahead to Kindle quickly. He'll sweep it over to Koivunen. Near circle. Drags, fires, and a block shot from Brendan Smith. Diving out onto the ice. Maybe caught the puck with his rear end. Gets deflected out of play. 2:04 to go in the first. We're tied up at 1 from Columbus. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Looking for a delicious power play off the ice? Download the GetGo app and get a free 6-piece order of juicy all-white meat chicken nuggets, plus a dipping sauce of your choice. Or are you craving something that could satisfy the appetite of a Penguins player after sudden death overtime? Good news, the Pilgrim is served. Gobble up the traditional holiday favorites of roasted turkey, tangy cranberry, savory gravy, and crispy tots piled high on delicious stuffing bread for a limited time. GetGo, the official convenience store of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Sidney Crosby started the scoring here in Columbus, but then Sean Monahan returned the favor. It's 1-1 with 2:04 to go in the first period from Nationwide Arena. The Penguins starting a back-to-back. They'll be at home hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. Top line out there for the Pens. Sidney Crosby to take the draw against Charlie Coyle to the right of Jet Greaves in the Jackets' end. And Crosby wins it. It goes out to the point on the near side for Wotherspoon. He'll sweep it down the boards looking for Sid. Coyle got in the way of it, though. They fight for the puck in the corner. It goes tumbling over to the far side. Rowensky chases after it, flips it over to Coyle, who takes it through the neutral zone over the Penguins line, down to the near circle, stops on a dime at the half boards. Gets defended by Kevin Hayes, but still able to chip it down. This is going to be a penalty on the Penguins. Over to the bench goes Greaves, 6-on-5 for the Jackets, and now whistle's blown. The Penguins will go on the penalty kill for the first time tonight. It's going to be Kevin Hayes. Meanwhile, Parker Wotherspoon and Miles Wood getting tangled up behind Tristan Jarry right now.
And the Penguins need to come back out here. They're in the middle of a change there, and you had Coyle and Wood both giving an earful to Parker Wotherspoon. It'll be the Jackets.
Pittsburgh penalty, number 13, 2-minute minor, holding.
About to go on the power play, and that's Kevin Hayes going in the box for holding. Real quick, Joe, I got an update from the nation's capital where the Toronto Maple Leafs went up 2-0 against the Washington Capitals, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 straight by the Caps. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, with just 18 shots on goal in that game, outshot 34-18, will make their way to the Berg to take on the Penguins tomorrow night.
Wow.
Leafs are in trouble.
That'll be a highly anticipated rematch for the Penguins, too.
Leafs are in big, big trouble.
I'd say so. Right now, the Penguins shorthanded for the first time tonight. We're tied at 1:30 to go in the first. Jackets with it in the Penguin zone. High slot Severson to Rowensky, over to the far circle, centering past Monahan, over to Fantilli, a drive, and it may have gotten blocked by Voronkov in front.
Hit him right in the midsection.
Jackets still keep it alive in the Penguin zone. Shovel down to the corner. Voronkov spits it over to the far side. Severson. Rowensky with a shot pass. Fantilli, a drive. That goes wide of the net. Chris Letang settles the puck down. He'll clear it down. It just missed the Penguins bench. Goes all the way down to the Jackets' end.
Again, strong play by Chris Letang. Under pressure by two Jackets, and had to really get strong on the stick to get it down 200.
Jackets power play just 25th in the league. They have one power play goal in their last 5 games coming into today. Penguins PK 5th in the league. Here's the Jackets. Fantilli to Severson. Kicked out of there, though, as Brian Rust got in the mix.
That's a great read by Brian Rust, because it was out of nowhere that 2-on-1 occurred, and Rusty collapsed down on Severson just when he was about to put it in the empty net.
Fantilli with a spinorama trying to set up Severson. Now the Penguins take it into the Jackets zone. It's Brian Rust playing it over in behind the net of Jet Greaves. There's 23 seconds to go in the period. 45 seconds on the Penguins PK. Monahan takes it over the Penguins line. His pass gets interrupted. Jarry will clear it on down. A little pass from goalie to goalie. Jarry's clearing attempt went right on net to Jet Greaves. He stops it. 6 seconds to go in the period. Provorov ditches it back to Matejchuk over the Penguins line. Shot fired, got blocked. Rebound over to the far side. Quick shot on net, saved by Jarry to keep it tied up at 1. So the Penguins kill off most of the penalty kill. They've still got 23 seconds. That will begin in the second period in a 1-1 game between the Pens and the Jackets.
Shots. Did they give the Jackets a shot at the end there? Make it 9-7, I think?
I'm guessing they will.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's 8-7 Jackets. And no surprise. This is how the Jackets season has been going, where it's eventful. At times it can be wide open, but they keep it close. They keep it low. They keep not low scoring, but they keep it right around the 1-goal game. As I mentioned, 7 of their last 10 have been 1-goal games, and it seems like the Jackets are comfortable being uncomfortable.
Brian Metzer is standing by. He'll have the first intermission report as the Penguins and Jackets are tied up at 1 here from Columbus. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. Fanatics experience.
It used to be Ready, Set, Go.
And what is it now? Say it again.
Now it's Ready, Set, 4!
Wow!
Oh, the blue oval. That's what it is. Hey, that worked.
Teach me how to shoot.
It's not that hard.
Did you ever have a goal?
I actually had one hat trick.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Madison Square Garden.
so you, Phil Bork, had a hat trick.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Selection, savings, and best price guaranteed.
Because that's who we are. It's who we are and what we do, Phil.
SchultzFord.com.
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 Yeehaw.
Hey, Pens fans, Penguins Foundation Cyber Weekend deals are here, including stocking stuffers like our Let's Go Pen set or a top shelf tote to stay warm this winter while repping your hometown team. Make this your one-stop shop for the Penguins fan in your life. Score some great holiday gifts with our limited time shop Penguins Foundation discount available now through Monday, December 1st. All shoppers will enjoy a 20% discount on shop orders when using the code CYBER20. Some exclusions apply. Support the mission of the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation by visiting shop.pittsburghpenguinsfoundation.org and let's go Pens.
Do you know an educator that goes above and beyond for their students? Highmark and the Pittsburgh Penguins want to celebrate the educators who make a difference every day. Nominate an outstanding educator for the Highmark Most Valuable Educator Contest for their chance to win the ultimate away game trip, including round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and tickets to see the Penguins take on the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden on February 28th. Nominate your favorite educator today at pittsburghpenguins.com/contests. That's pittsburghpenguins.com/contests. This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our first intermission report, where the Penguins and Blue Jackets are all tied up at 1 after one period of play at Nationwide Arena. Brian Metzer here with you at our Penguins Radio Network studios in South Fayette, and let's look back over the opening 20 minutes of action, where we had a little bit of everything. You know, a little bit bogged down maybe at the very start from all the turkey yesterday on Thanksgiving, but the teams did respond as they moved through it and combined for 15 shots in that frame, and a couple of them hit the back of the net. It started with Sidney Crosby scoring his 14th of the year, finishing off a feed from Chris Letang. It was Sid's 14th, as I mentioned. It came at 6:10, and it was just a flurry of offense in front of Jet Greaves. He couldn't keep it out as Sid finally got what seemed like a 50th shot on goal in the sequence, and managed to put that in behind him. They would answer, though, as Sean Monahan, we all know he's been mired in a goalless drought. He went 9 games without a goal, finally gets his 3rd of the year at 13:40 from Smith and Severson. It was just a similar type of play to the one that Sid scored on, in that the puck was moving a lot in front of the Penguins' net. They got it to Monahan as he came crashing down to the left of Tristan Jarry as he was falling backwards, and he put it in behind him to tie the game at 1. Each team did have a power play opportunity in the frame as well. Zach Aston Reese went to the box at 2:28 for high sticking. The Penguins unable to complete a power play goal on that one because they didn't even register a shot. And on the other end of it, the Blue Jackets went to work with Kevin Hayes in the box. Still have a few seconds remaining on that power play when it gets to the second period. He went for holding at 18:23, and they have a couple shots on goal. When we come back, a conversation with my good buddy Mark Scheig covers the Blue Jackets. We'll do that next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh for 11 years running. So it's no wonder that Pittsburgh's favorite hockey team choose Ford as their go-to vehicles. Yep, that's right. Your favorite team meets our favorite team. That's a stacked roster if you ask us. Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Only from your neighborhood Ford store.
Kimberly-Clark Professional is proud to be a champion sustainability partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Together, they are driving change to help reduce impact through a commitment to sustainable products and services. Learn more at kcprofessional.com/sustainability.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
This gift for Aunt Carol is perfect. She's going to love it.
Since everyone's chipping in, how do we collect from everyone before the holiday party? I always get stuck reminding people.
No worries. Everyone can just Zelle me.
Zelle? Tell me more.
With Zelle, you can send money directly to friends, family, or others you trust.
Really?
Yes, it goes right into their bank account. No cash, no checks. Just open your S&T mobile banking app. Find Zelle, send the money, done.
Wow, that's awesome.
Listen, holiday giving should be joyful, not a chore. So be sure to stop by your local S&T branch. Visit stbank.com or call us at 1-800-325-2265. Again, that's stbank.com or 800-325-2265 to learn more. To send or receive money with Zelle, both parties must have an eligible checking or savings account. Terms and conditions apply. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Penguins and Blue Jackets tied at 1 after 1 in Columbus. Brian Metzer back here with you. And the fact that the Pens are playing the Jackets, you know that means we're going to bring in our proud Robert Morris alumni and good buddy, Mark Scheig. He covers the Blue Jackets for the Hockey Writers. He's a PHWA member, also the credentials manager over there at the Hockey Writers. Mark, welcome back. How are you, my friend? Happy belated Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy belated Thanksgiving to you as well. Hope it was good.
Oh, it was great. It always is. I hope the same for you on that end. And just Sean Monahan finally on the board. He ends that 9-game drought. How big is that for the Blue Jackets, especially being down Marchenko for a couple here? And you and I talked a lot about his offense in our first meeting this year, but now getting Monahan going, that could be big.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for them. They've been in need of a second scoring line. Ken Johnson really hasn't had the same year so far. Monahan, big goal in the first period, like you said. We actually found out this morning that he's been playing most of the year injured. We don't know what exactly he's dealing with, but he hasn't really looked right. So for him to be able to get on the board in the first period like that, that's a big lift, and the Blue Jackets definitely need that second line, including Monahan's line, to get going.
Yeah, especially, for as impactful as he was offensively last year, to have him just scoring his third goal this far in, that was a bit of a shock to all of us because he is such a leader and such an offensive catalyst for the Jackets.
Absolutely. I mean, he played with a lot of motivation last year, as we've talked about, with his good friend Johnny Gaudreau. Really was a leader. Was member of one of the best lines last year as well. And so far this year, the Blue Jackets offense has dropped down a little bit, so they've actually had to split him away. They elevated Adam Fantilli up to the top line. They're playing well, so they were hoping Monahan would get that second line going. We'll see what this goal does, but if they can get that second line going, especially with Monahan, that'll make the Jackets a dangerous team moving forward.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Matthew Olivier also out of the lineup, and we all know he brings a nice level of toughness. Last year, he kind of had an offensive breakout himself. What's the absence of him mean to this lineup, simply just based on that toughness that comes out and everything else that he tends to offer in terms of his leadership, etc.?
Yeah, it's multiple things, because he's part of the third line with Charlie Coyle and Cole Sillinger. They contribute offense as well. But then we saw the other night with Olivier out of the lineup against Toronto, they were missing that physical element, and Toronto stepped up their physical game knowing that enforcer present wasn't out there. So the Blue Jackets are going to have to step their game up when it comes to finding a level of physicality, because they don't have that guy that can drop the gloves with anybody. So it'll be really interesting to watch.
And Mark, just so you know, we have about a minute left here. And I know the last time we talked, the two goaltenders were kind of playing every other night. But right now, Jet Greaves is kind of taken over the net. How did he win that battle? And what have you seen from his game? And will he look to be the number one moving forward?
Well, this is his 9th start in his last 11 games. So it's pretty clear who they trust right now, and that's Jet Greaves. He brings a certain calmness to the net. Like, no matter what's going on in the game, no, if it's tight, he brings us a certain presence that calms the entire team down. So until further notice, they started with the rotation at the beginning of the year, but right now, Jet Greaves is the clear number one in Columbus, and it'll be interesting to see how Elvis Merzlikins handles that situation.
Yeah, has there been any kind of interaction with them or with Elvis to get his take on the situation to this point? Just a quick thought.
Just a quick thought. He he understands what's going on, and whenever he's called upon, he'll be ready. Last couple starts for him haven't been his best, but there's going to be some back-to-backs coming up, so he needs to be ready, and he understands that.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. When those back-to-backs come, that gives him a chance to kick the door wide open. Mark, thank you for this, my friend. Always enjoy our conversations, and be safe till we do it again.
Much appreciated, Brian. Thank you so much.
All right, that is Mark Scheig. You can find him on Twitter, X at Mark_SCHEIG, Mark Scheig. When I come back, news from around the league, and you'll hear it on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Paul Steigerwald. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals over the years. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. They develop solutions that preserve natural resources with the goal to protect and beautify our world. PPG Paints Arena is proud to be the first LEED Gold certified NHL arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
What's up, Pittsburgh? Brian Rust here, letting you know that I'm bringing back half-off milkshakes to the city of Pittsburgh. That's right, you heard me. Half-off shakes are back at Milkshake Factory when I score a goal. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and melted hot fudge topped with whipped cream. And of course, a chocolate 17. When I score a goal, come celebrate with me at the Milkshake Factory.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Penguins and Jackets tied at 1 after 1 in Columbus. Brian Metzer back here with you, and looking around the league at a couple news and notes here. Clayton Keller, he is going to play for the Utah Mammoth today after his father unexpectedly died just a day ago, which that was really tragic news for him. But it's they were saying that Clayton wants to play, wants to be with the team. The coaching staff there was putting a quote out about, and they said, we want to say our condolences to the whole family, Clayton, to his mom, his brother. It's been a tough time for their family. But as with most hockey players, they want to be around their group. They want to get out there and be with their their ice hockey family, and hopefully he can get some strength and support from that, that support mechanism that's around him, because that's a very tough thing to lose your parent on a holiday. And, kudos to him for giving it a go. And I'm sure he'll be with his family as they move through the coming days. But I just wanted to mention that here. Of course, the Penguins will be moving into a second period here against the Blue Jackets. Can they get some more offense? That would be a good thing. They've been really anemic at times lately and not been able to get the back of the net or hit the back of the net so many times. So they got to get it done here on this post-Thanksgiving affair. When we come back, second period action from Columbus. Joe Brandon, the old 2-9er, Phil Bork have it for you on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
You've got the dopest 90s hits
on 90s on 9.
From boy bands to girl groups.
If you wanna be my lover. From ballads to bangers.
Hosted by iconic former MTV VJ Downtown Julie Brown
and Grammy winner singer-songwriter Lisa Loeb.
90s on 9.
Channel 9, and listen at home with the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah, The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under Review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Student Rush program today.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Everything is better on ice. It scores through the legs. He's done. Sirius XM.
20 minutes in the books from Columbus, and each team with a goal. Sidney Crosby for the Pens, Sean Monahan for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and 23 seconds of a power play for Columbus to begin this second period. It's Kevin Hayes in the box with a hooking penalty. Penguins able to kill off the majority of it, but still looking to finish it off as we begin this second period. Along with the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand. The Jackets now in their home alternate dark blue sweaters, attacking from right to left with Jet Greaves in the net. The Penguins in their road white sweaters with Tristan Jarry in the net. They're attacking from left to right. Blake Lizotte wins the draw to begin this second period. The opening faceoff is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. The Penguins clear it on down to the Jackets' end. Adam Fantilli playing it off the near wall. He feeds it to Rowinski, who takes it over the Penguins line, chips it down to the corner. It actually goes out of play. 5 seconds to go on the Penguins' penalty kill. 19 seconds into this second period.
I'll kill that 5 seconds off and get to work. As I mentioned, how tight it is in the Eastern Conference and the Metropolitan Division. A lot of teams around the Penguins. The 3 teams leading the Metro right now, New Jersey, Carolina, Washington, have already won so far today. Montreal, who's right behind the Penguins, in Vegas, they won. Philadelphia won at the New York Islanders. New York Rangers won. They're just behind the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have leapfrogged the Penguins before this game started. They won in Boston earlier today. So this has become a bigger game for the Pittsburgh Penguins to stay with the pack.
There's a pass to Johnson. Ripped the shot, shoulder save, Jarry.
Wow, that was from prime shooting real estate. Kent Johnson right off the right shoulder of Tristan Jarry. That was from about 15 feet away. Big save by Jarry early on here in the second.
Kevin Hayes is out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Jackets with the puck back in the Penguins zone, though. They flip it over to the far side. Pulls over to the point for Severson. Poked away by Brian Rust. Crosby tries to take it with speed into the Jackets zone. Rust will do that now down to the corner. But a good poke check from Severson. Centering pass looking for Kevin Hayes. Couldn't connect. Letang's got it now. Far circle. Up to Carlson. High slot. Chips it over to Rust at the point. Hangs on, takes his time, and now spins it around the boards to the far corner. It rolls. Only one they're waiting for is Dmitry Voronkov of Columbus. Jackets get it out towards center ice. Chris Letang settles it down, though. Back ahead to Crosby. He's in the Jackets zone, near circle. Centering pass. Kevin Hayes gets taken down to the ice. Kent Johnson is going to be charged with a penalty as Jarry was about to leave his net. Now he will go towards the bench as it goes all the way down to the Penguins' end. Chris Letang plays it. That's a late penalty here on Columbus. Just a minute and a half into the second period. We're tied at 1. Penguins taking their time with it. Malkin has it in his own zone. Slides behind the empty net of the Penguins. 6-on-5 for the Pens right now. Ryan Shea ahead to Ben Kindle. Left it for Novak as the Jackets had an opportunity to touch the puck. They didn't cleanly, though. Shea still with it. Saucers it over to Mantha. Penguins being very casual here. Head to Ben Kindle. Again, a delayed penalty on Columbus. Kindle's in the Jacket zone. Curls around far circle. Over to Letang, high slot. Back skates above the far circle. Now to the point. We'll send it over to Malkin above the near circle. He'll go for a centering pass. Almost got redirected home. To the far half boards for Shea. Columbus still has yet to touch the puck. Malkin back to Letang, high slot. A delayed penalty here on the Blue Jackets as Pinelli broke off a pass, but the Penguins still with it. High slot Mantha. Over to Letang, high slot. Malkin, one-timer save. Rebound handled by Hayes. Flipped out, and Malkin's got the rebound again near circle. That's Novak out there. He'll chase after the puck in the far corner. Swats at it for Shea. Malkin near circle. Rips it wide, and it goes out of play. The Penguins, with all the control in the world of the puck, a delayed penalty that lasted, maybe an entire minute?
Yeah.
Penguins going back in the power play here, tied at 1 early in the second.
Well, the referee with the tired arm is going to make the call here.
2 minutes tripping.
That was Brandon Blandini.
Never thought about that. Can you switch arms?
I don't think you're allowed. No, I think you have to. No pain, no gain. You got to feel the burn. But a couple of great chances for Evgeny Malkin. And Gino's going for a skate right now. That last chance that he got, he air-milled that puck, I'm going to say about 7 feet over the net, probably about 10 feet wide of the net.
Honestly, where it landed, I thought it got deflected, but I didn't see it.
It was so wide of the net. And you think, there's no way somebody just shot it that wide of the net. But yes, and that's why Gino's going for a skate right now. Power play Penguins.
Columbus quickly wins the first draw, send it all the way down to the Penguins' end as Erik Karlsson races it down. Each team unsuccessful on their lone power play unit, and now it's coughed up by Karlsson. Here's Monahan in the Penguins zone, luckily cut off by Ben Kindle.
Oh my goodness, Erik Karlsson, and now a collision between Rust and Malkin, and Rust, oh my goodness, Brian Rust is in a boatload of pain. A harmless collision after the Karlsson turnover, and Brian Rust is going right in the room, slams his stick down, and oh boy, that's not a good sign for Brian Rust.
Ville Koivunen takes the ice in place of Russ. Karlsson comes off right now, and it looks like some of the second unit. Now it's just Letang out there, along with Crosby, Malkin, Ben Kindle, and Ville Koivunen. Letang over the Jackets line. Not all that clean, though. Sends it around the boards. Werenski stops it at the near corner, flips it up. Koivunen couldn't keep it alive. Here's a 2-on-1 for Columbus. Miles Wood and Brendan Gaunce. Wood drags through to Gaunce. They score. A disastrous power play for the Penguins. And they cough up their third shorthanded goal of the season. It's 2-1 Columbus. 56 seconds to go on the Penguins power play.
What could have went wrong? Went wrong. It all went wrong. You had the Karlsson turnover, which led to the collision between Malkin and Rust. Rust gets hurt, and then Koivunen burps the puck up. And who's back playing defense? It's Sidney Crosby. Where's Chris Letang? My goodness gracious, boys. Get your act together. A perfectly executed 2-on-1. And the shorty goes to the Blue Jackets for their first lead of the hockey game. It's now 2-1. Ay, ay, ay.
Brendan Gaunce with his first goal of the season, his 14th career. Penguins with 38 seconds to go on the power play. Letang snaps it over to the far side, out of the reach of Ville Koivunen. Turnover now, it's taken by Hayes in the slot. Cruises through, he can't get a shot off, wraparound try, it just goes wide. Loose puck sitting at the side of the crease. Hayes will play it up to Novak at the half boards. A touch pass from Letang over to Koivunen, far circle. 20 to go on the Penguins power play. Downstairs, Mantha, backhand shot, trying to shovel one over the shoulder of Greaves, but he keeps it out. Over to Novak, near circle. Down to Mantha, in that circle. Takes it up to the point now. Downstairs to Hayes, below the goal line. Centering pass looking for Koivunen, but it was kicked away by Matejchuk. 1 second to go. Out of the box is Kent Johnson. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins still with it in the Columbus zone. Up to Hayes, near circle. He's pressured by Johnson, who just came out of the box. Shoveling, centering pass. Mantha kicks it wide. And it's taken by Sillinger. He'll take it to the far side of the neutral zone into the Penguins end. To Johnson, far circle, rips one, glove save, in and out of the glove of Jari. Shea will take the rebound. 2-1 Columbus after a shorthanded goal from the Blue Jackets. 14:40 to go in this second period. Werenski plays it ahead. Out of the reach of Voronkov. And he slows things down for the Penguins in their own zone. Shea plays it up to the neutral zone, goes all the way down to Columbus's end. That'll be icing by the Pens. 14.5 to play in the second. And a real rough sequence. Couple of rough sequences for the Pens. All on that power play.
Yeah, the number one power play in the league. Looked completely lost out there. What I found interesting, after the egregious turnover by Ville Koivunen, Dan Muse leaves him right back on the ice again. So was Dan Muse that discouraged by the first unit that he leaves the second unit out there, or thinking, okay, Ville, you just burped one up, I'm going to leave you right back on the ice to see if you can get that one back?
This one pitched out of play in the Penguins bench. Well, because it was Koivunen replacing Rust on the power play, right?
Right.
On the top unit. So I don't know, maybe just continue out there as the second unit comes out. But I get what you're saying. And then just shortly after the power play had ended, Anthony Mantha with a huge opportunity right on the doorstep. I'd like to see a replay, but he may have just shot it wide. We get a false face-off here at center ice. 14:20 to go in the second. Penguins down 2-1. Columbus wins the draw. Dante Fabro up ahead to Igor Chinikov. He'll take it down to the corner. Shot on net. Shoulder save Jarry. Wotherspoon comes away with the loose puck. Brings it up on the near side. Chips it down into Columbus's end near corner. Pulls in behind the net as Fabro swats it up ahead far side. Crosby kept it alive. He'll chase it down to the corner. Monahan sweeps it over to the near corner for Brendan Smith. Played up ahead to Chinikov as Dumba pokes at it. Now Crosby's got it. The Columbus logo. He'll give it to Brian Rust. Great to see him back out on the ice as Crosby's got it in the slot. Went for a backhanded shot. Puck pops up in the air, goes tumbling in the crease, and then knocked down by Ryan Graves. Puck still, rather play still stays alive. Graves at the far point. Stretch pass to Matt Dumba. Cross ice. They had to play it off the boards. Down to the corner for Brian Rust. It's kicked out to the circle and taken by Monahan. Plays to Chinikov, but Crosby kicks that one away. Columbus keeps it alive. Chinikov over to Pinelli, a drive high of the net. Pinelli playing in his second NHL game, looking for his first goal. The Penguins clear it out of their zone. Far side of the neutral zone, taken away by Rust after a good break off by Kevin Hayes. Stretch pass looking for Hayes again, but he couldn't get a clean shot off after some good defense from Cole Sillinger. Now the Jackets come in transition. Fantilli over the Penguins line, far side, tried to feed Sillinger. Great poke check by Carlson. Loose puck is taken by Evgeny Malkin. He gets tied up with Werenski. This is going to be a penalty on Gino. 12:48 to go in the second period. And the Penguins, who just coughed up a shorthanded goal to give Columbus the lead, will now be shorthanded. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Our Penguins Pledge champion partners PPG, US Steel, EQT, Wesco, Indra Energy, and Coca-Cola are all committed to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
My dog Montague has always looked out for other people. So when he saw that our neighbor was hungry, we both jumped into action. We grabbed cans, friends, and a sled to get everyone the food they need. Eventually, the whole neighborhood joined in, donating food and money to help. Because it takes a neighborhood to feed a neighborhood. Visit unhungry.org to help feed yours. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Welcome back to Columbus. The Blue Jackets lead the Penguins 2-1. Hey, holidays are coming up. Could you use some extra cash? Well, tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity. You ready? $719 million. Yeah, $719 million. Don't forget to play your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds. It benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly. $719 million.
That would answer a lot of problems. Right now, the Penguins have a shorthanded problem. They're shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. They just coughed up a shorthanded goal. And it's 2-1 Columbus with 12:48 to go in the second. Face off to the right of Jari, and the Penguins control. Parker Wotherspoon clears it all the way down. Good start for the Penguins PK. That is 1 for 1 so far tonight. Columbus out shooting the Penguins 12-9. It's dropped back to Fantilli. He'll take it up to Monahan over the Penguins line. At the point, gets it to Rowensky. Far circle now. Back up to Rowensky. Shot fired. Got deflected, but went wide of the net. Penguins fight for it on the far side. Connor Dewar looks to come away with it. Still fighting for it, and the Jackets take it away. Rowensky at the far half wall. Centering pass. Big kick saved by Jari. Second attempt. Saved by Jari, but maybe kicked off the side of the cage.
It did. It hit the iron.
Goes out of play with 12:12 to go. Go ahead, Parker.
Yeah, pretty simple power play formation here by the Jackets. Just funneling pucks to the net. Werenski gets it to Voronkov, and then Damon Severson, the defenseman that slid down in front of the net, and then he was able to get the rebound and glance it off the iron to keep it 2-1 Jackets.
1:25 to go on the Penguins PK. They trail 2-1 with 12:12 to go in the second. Face off to the left of Tristan Jari. Rust will take the draw. Again, Sean Monahan. He scored the first goal for the Jackets tonight, and he wins the draw. Rowensky, far point. Fires one that got deflected. Goes off the end wall. Fantilli takes it at the corner of the trapezoid. Up to Severson, near half wall to Rowensky. Far circle. Severson a drive and a pass save from Jari. Kicking out towards his right. Jackets keep it alive in the Penguin zone. Rowensky at the point. Rink wide to Fantilli. Above the near circle. Drags, fires. Centering pass. Kicked out by Parker Wotherspoon. And Brian Rust takes the puck away. Tried to clear it out. Couldn't. Severson with a centering pass. No one was there. Ryan Shea cuts in front of Voronkov and is able to clear it down to the Jackets' end. 50 seconds to go on the Penguins PK.
Really interesting formation. Damon Severson, known more as a defensive defenseman, down in front of the goal. There's a rotation there where Adam Fantilli, the shooter, was more out at the point with Severson down around the front of the net.
Blake Lizotte stole the puck away, then coughed it up. Rowensky far circle. Over to the high slot for Provorov. Above the near circle. Curls around at the point. Now back over to Rowensky. High slot Provorov. Rowensky above the far circle towards the crease. Down to the circle for Johnson. Left it for Provorov. Back up to Johnson. 15 to go on the Penguins PK. Rowensky wrister. Saved by Jari. A big save for the Penguins goaltender, sliding over to his right. 12 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. They trail 2-1 with 11 minutes to go in the second.
Yeah, I'm not real thrilled with the way the second period has gone for the Penguins. They're definitely on their heels now. That shorthanded goal has put them on the heels, and then they have Evgeny Malkin. Minor shortly thereafter has put them now on the penalty kill, and you feel like there's a big-time press here by the Columbus Blue Jackets to try to get a 2-goal lead. And the Penguins, they've got to find a way. There's lots of time left. We're not even at the halfway mark of this hockey game. But you feel like the Penguins, after getting the first goal of the game, are now on their heels.
Face off to the right of Jari. Kopanen against Coyle. Puck goes rolling over to the far circle. Cleared down by Parker Wotherspoon. 5 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Malkin standing up in the box. 2 seconds, 1. He's out of there. We're back to 5-on-5. 2-1 Columbus with less than 11 to go here in the second period. Down along the end boards, Wotherspoon wrapped up into the wall by Coyle, but keeps the puck near him as Sillinger tried to drag it out. Now loose puck slides right in front of Jari. He'll freeze it. With 10:35 to go in the second, 2-1 Jackets.
Want some birthdays?
I'd love them.
Here we go. Former first-round pick of the Jackets, David Jiricek, 22. Ivan Fedotov, 29. Zach Whitecloud, 29. And Blake Coleman, 34. I saved some of the best for last.
Okay.
The Flower, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Knew that was coming.
41 years of age. Happy birthday, Flower. And the twins, Ed and Al Shenderovich.
Oh.
Shenderovich and Shenderovich. Happy birthday, boys.
Happy birthday, boys. Penguins are offside entering the Jacket zone. 10:25 to go in this second. 2-1 Columbus. Penguins being outshot 14-9.
Penguins just 2 shots here in the second period.
Face off at the far right dot in front of the Penguins bench, and Columbus controls as Lundestrom will dump it down into the Penguins' end. Dumba quickly racing in there, flips it along the far boards. Penguins couldn't clear it out just yet, though. Graves fights for it at the half wall, couldn't clear it out. Now Lundestrom fumbles the puck at the blue line, and the Jackets have to reset. Provorov chipping it over to Rowinski. Shovels it over to Provorov in full flight over the Penguins line. Coughed up the puck, though. Kevin Hayes with it. Snaps it up to Brian Rust over the Jackets line. He's got Crosby to his right. Rust stops at the near half wall, went for a cross ice pass to Dumba, taken away by Lundestrom. He'll carry it over the Penguins line, far circle, spins around at the hash marks. Now over to Rowinski. Couldn't handle the puck in the near circle. Gets it back, though. Smith a drive, bounced off traffic, backhanded shot, that didn't get through. Chinikov with it at the far half wall, shovels it down to the corner for Wood. He'll play it up. Brendan Gaunce, who scored the shorthanded goal, stripped of the puck. Matt Dumba pokes it ahead to Evgeny Malkin. This pass looking for Tommy Novak out of his reach. Goes all the way down to Columbus's end. Jackets will play it. Up ahead and all the way down to the Penguins' end now. Chris Letang races it, and that's icing by Columbus. Wow. Much to the dismay of the Jackets fans here.
Well, building the future takes grit. No one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
Till 2-9er, we got him back on the radio side of things. Here in Columbus, first visit to Nationwide Arena for the Penguins this year. First of 2. Penguins will be back here again in early January. Letang drives, fires, got deflected. Malkin went after the loose puck, but it's kicked over to the near side by Columbus. Out to the neutral zone it goes. Ryan Shea handles it. Anthony Mantha to Chris Letang. Got it to Malkin in between the penalty boxes. He sends it ahead to Novak over the Jackets line in the high slot. Fired a shot. Easy save by Greaves, and he'll freeze it. With 8:50 to go in the second period. It's 2-1 Columbus from Columbus on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is SiriusXM NFL Radio.
This is Kirk Morrison from the SiriusXM Blitz. It's week 13 in the NFL, and we have a big matchup in the AFC when the Steelers host the Bills. And it's time to separate the pretenders from the contenders.
The mentality of the Denver Broncos. We do our job, we'll have a chance to get off the field at the end of the game or make a play. That's who we are.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
Clearly different. Federally insured by NCUA.
(2-1) Columbus with 8:50 to go in the second period. A Brendan Gaunce shorthanded goal is the difference in this one. We're going to face off to the right of Jet Greaves, who has stopped 9 Penguin shots tonight. Over in the Jackets' end, Ben Kindle will take the draw against Sean Monahan.
For Brendan Gaunce, that's his first shorthanded goal of his career.
Wow. Got the feed from Miles Wood. Picks up his second assist on the year as Shea cranks one just wide of the net as it got deflected wide. Monahan playing it at the corner. Up ahead to Cole Sillinger. He'll take it out to the neutral zone near side. Races on. Pinelli trying to get in front of Chris Letang. Columbus keeps it alive in the Penguin zone. Puck on edge, near corner. Pinelli, that is, will handle it up to the point for Matejchuk. He shovels it over to Severson. Fumble the puck at the blue line. Has to reset. Matejchuk, who's the cousin of Owen Pickering in the Penguin system, leads it over to Severson. Pass onto their reach. He'll have to chase it down in the corner. Sent over to the far side. Adam Fantilli will dig it down to the Penguins' end. Slowly rolls in behind Jari's net. Wotherspoon over to Chris Letang. Now up to Brian Russ. He goes for a rink-wide pass looking for Kevin Hayes. Couldn't play it off the far wall. Columbus will take it and make a U-turn into the Penguin zone. Voronkov backhand shovels it to Ken Johnson. Wrapped up by Eric Carlson. Near half wall, centering pass. Wotherspoon was the only guy there. He shoveled it up, but not out. Columbus keeps it alive, sends it deep. Wotherspoon gets to it again and feeds it over to Kevin Hayes near half wall. He gets wrapped up by Voronkov, but luckily Hayes gets rid of the puck. Over to Wotherspoon as the Penguins dump it down to Columbus's end. 7:17 to go in the second period. It's 2-1 Jackets. Here's Provorov, near side of the neutral zone, cruising through over the Penguins line. Shot on net. Hits Jari square in the chest. And he'll stop it with 7:06 to go in the second. 2-1 Columbus.
And now the Penguins have got their power play behind them. And the Jackets power play behind them. Maybe they can get back to playing some Penguini hockey here. It's been a game of momentum swings as the Jackets came out of the gate flying. And the Penguins kind of weathered that storm, and they were able to get the first goal off of Sidney Crosby. But since then, it's been more Jackets mo than Penguins mo.
Yeah, Columbus came out with the first 3 shots on goal. The Penguins matched that, Crosby's goal being the third shot. And Penguins then had the next 6 of the game, and that's when the Jackets have taken over and kept it that way since. Here's a blast that Jari kicks wide over to the far corner. Somebody's stick is broken. It's Kopanen's. The Penguins a little bit short-handed right now. Smith in the high slot to Fabro. Near circle drags. Fires Jari with the save. 6:48 to go in the second. Kopanen can get a clean new stick, but it's still 2-1 Columbus.
It was actually Graves with the broken stick.
Good call.
He got the stick from Kopanen. And now Graves gives Kopanen back his stick, picks up the shrapnel, and heads to the bench to get a new wand.
Face-off will come to the right of Tristan Jari, who has 16 saves tonight. And Lizotte wins the draw for the Pens. Matt Dumba plays it ahead of the neutral zone. Dewar feeds it to Lizotte. He chugs over the Jackets line. Far side, pitches it back Kopanen. Far circle, wrister. Never got through. Loose puck sitting there, and it's kicked wide. Now Graves cranks one. That doesn't get through. Played all the way over to the near side. It goes down into the Penguins, and Matt Dumba chases it down. Ahead to Blake Lizotte. Stretch pass to Kopanen. He's over the Jackets line near point. He'll backhand shovel it along the boards. Over to the far corner. Fabro wraps up Dewar against the wall. Now it's kicked free for Fabro to take it. He'll carry it up along the far side. Brendan Smith dashes it down into the Penguins' end. Jari plays it off the boards. Leaves it for Ryan Graves, who cuts through in front of the Penguins' net. Over to Malkin, who will dump it down to the Jackets' end near corner. Played off the wall by Matejchuk. He'll flip it up into the air. Malkin's stick went flying up in the air trying to knock the puck down. Never made connection with it, as it's dumped down into the Penguins' end by the Jackets. But Chris Letang gets it away, looking for Anthony Mantha out of his reach. Loose puck goes all the way down to the Jackets' end. It's taken by David Severson. Plays it over to the Penguins' blue line. They couldn't cleanly get it into the Penguins' zone. Now Chinikov will chip it up into the air. That goes out of play and sends us to another break. 5:33 to go in the second. Penguins down 2-1 in Columbus. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The Steel City knows a thing or two about winners. When it comes to environmental services, WM has been winning for over 50 years. We have over 45,000 MVPs on our roster across North America, from truck drivers to sales professionals and everything in between. And right now, we're looking for Pittsburgh area professionals to join our winning team because doing what's right for our planet is vital work. Best tackled together. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and tons of other perks. Start your new career by visiting careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com or an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
Penguins still down by a goal, 2-1 Columbus, with 5:33 left in the second period. We're going to get a face-off at dead center ice. As the Jackets right now on the video board do the whole sequence of showing a Michigan Wolverines fan and then a young Ohio State fan.
Is there something going on here this weekend?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think the waters are a little tempered around here.
Tempered? A little simmer?
A little simmer.
Yeah?
A little rising to a boiling point. Big football weekend. It's at Ohio State, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's at Michigan.
Oh, it's at Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Our football insider, college football insider, Sherry Killian, helping us out with the correct information.
AKA Shorts. Yeah. She came jumping out of the back there.
She
said, no, it's at Michigan.
She's not going to have that false information uttered on her watch.
And I know you're a little more savvy when it comes to college football than myself, but hasn't that been on one side of the fair?
I don't know if I've been a little more savvy than you.
Okay. Hasn't this gone Michigan's way for a while? Shorts? Yeah, she's giving it 6 straight? Wow.
But each team with a national championship in very recent memory, correct? Get another nod of yes. Less than 5 to play here from Columbus. 2-1, the Jackets lead the Pens. Kevin Hayes sweeps it over to the neutral zone. Isaac Lundestrom dumps it on into the far corner. Parker Wotherspoon laying it off the end boards ahead to Sidney Crosby. He'll cruise through the neutral zone over the Jackets line. Backhand chips it. It's quickly taken away by Lundestrom. Carlson steals it right back, though. Kevin Hayes at the point, rips one. It goes wide. Over to the far corner. Coyle plays keep away from Crosby. Backhand flings it over to the near side. Out of the reach of Carlson. Now up to the point. Hayes couldn't keep it alive. Puck on edge. Now it goes rolling just wide of the net. Tristan Jarry acting like the puck was made of lava. Had to protect his crease without touching the piece of vulcanized rubber, and it's icing on the Jackets.
I was actually thinking it was more like a matador. You know?
I like it.
Where he's like, holy! Just lets it go. Dribbling through the blue. You don't know my thoughts on that, right? That I feel like...
Matadors?
No, about the puck going through the blue paint on an icing.
Got it.
I think if it goes through the blue paint, then it should be waved off.
Interesting. I think that would cause for more, well, you just say it's not reviewable? Because then maybe you can make the argument of whether or not it did cross over.
Not reviewable. Let the linesman decide if it goes through the blue paint. They have eyeballs. Come on. I just think it'll bring more offense. Keep the game moving.
We'll touch back on Borky's view of Matadors in the third period.
Matadors and blue paint.
Well, it's red that they don't like. That the Bulls don't like, right? Columbus chips it back on in. Less than 4 to go in the second period. 2-1 Jackets. Chris Letang with a saucer pass to Novak, lining into the Jacket zone. Puck broken up by a poke check from Brendan Smith. 3:32 to go in this second. Penguins down by 1.
Yeah, I need to see that urgency, Joe. I need to see that urgency from the Penguins. As they're just kind of mucking and wallowing their way through this period here, trying to, not from lack of effort, but there's got to be a next level here for this group to get back in this hockey game. Down a goal, 2-1 with 3:32 to go in the second period.
And again, it was great to see the response from the Penguins after Columbus came out firing to begin this game. Tristan Jarry has done one heck of a job keeping his team in it right now. 3:15 to play in the second. Carlson's got it at the point. Sends one towards the net looking for a redirection. Couldn't connect with Lazat. It's poked out to the neutral zone. Connor Dewar races it down. Overskated the puck a little bit. Columbus takes it back. Johnson at the far half wall. He tried to clear it. It caught the upstairs of Dewar. They'll chip it ahead to Blake Lazat. He brings it into the Jacket zone. Down to the corner. Back up to Dewar. Far half wall. Over to Carlson in the slot. Wrister. Shoulder save from Greaves.
What a beautiful backhand pass from Connor Dewar right onto the tape of Erik Karlsson.
Now a soft, fluttering shot from the point goes right into the glove of Jet Grieve, who reached out with his left glove hand and freezes it to stop the momentum for the Penguins with 2:46 to go in this second. Still 2-1 Columbus.
Erik Karlsson with just one goal this year had a great opportunity to get his second and the Penguins' second goal to make it 2-2. It's hard to believe that here we are past the quarter pole, and Erik Karlsson 1 goal, Chris Letang 1 goal. But you have Parker Wotherspoon and Ryan Shea both with 2 goals. Who saw that coming?
Not I. 2:46 to play in the second. Face off to the right of Greaves, and Columbus controls. Werenski plays it up ahead to Coyle. He takes it over the Penguins line. Far circle. Down in behind the net. Tough angle shot. Rebound kicked out towards the crease. But it went wide. Puck fought for along the near wall. Matt Dumba kicks it over to Ryan Graves. Brings it to the far side of his own end. Works around Lundestrom. Now Rust will take it in the Jacket zone. Far circle. Cuts towards the crease. Goes crashing into the net. And knocks Greaves down to the ice. Net goes off its moorings. A little bit of a gathering in the Columbus blue paint.
Rusty's hurt.
He's been banged up a lot tonight.
Yeah. No, he got drilled. And he's willing to pay that price every single time, as he went really hard into the post as he was shoved by Werenski. Brian Rust, when he comes down that left side, boy, he's really struggling to get to the Penguins bench. And now he's hobbled. He's going to go back down for the second time tonight into the Penguins locker room. Oh, boy.
Second time this period.
Second time this period. Thank you, sir. But we've seen it from Brian Rust, and he knows. There's never hesitation, is there, Joe? Yeah. As a right-hand shot, left side of the ice, when he gets down to the dot, it feels like, even when he doesn't even have half a step on a defenseman, especially a guy like Werenski that can skate so well, he takes it right, protects it with the right leg, gets it on the backhand, takes it right from the goal line, right into the blue paint, and tries to go from backhand to forehand.
He was getting so close to the goal line, I wasn't expecting him to make that move, but he still nearly pulled it off as Heinen's got it. Far circle, tried to fire a shot, it got blocked. Graves keeps it alive in the Jacket zone. Around the boards, he plays it to Koivunen near half wall. Down to the corner, Heinen prying it off the boards. Not surrounded by a couple of Jackets, though, as now Aston Reese will take it the other way, chip it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Graves flings it around the boards to Ben Kindle at the far point. Nice angled pass out to Heinen. He'll take it up the Jackets line, near side, towards the circle. Got it to Ville Koivunen as he was wrapped up. Shot fired wide of the net. Rebound off the end boards. Played over to the far side. Koivunen will play it. To Kindle at the corner. Snapped it up to the high slot. No one was there. It goes all the way down to the Penguins, and Jarry well out of his net to play it.
Good hustle there. You know, we don't talk about this very often, but Tristan Jarry is an above-average skater for a goaltender. And the way he plays the puck, it definitely helps him play the puck more with the skating ability.
1:15 to go in the second. Penguins still down by a goal. They've got the puck in the Jackets' end near corner. Letang gets it to Novak below the goal line. Takes it up on the near circle. Down to Malkin. He takes it towards the crease. Drags, fires, blocker save. Rebound kick to the far side. Malkin plays it. Far point. Tries to send it deep, but Tkachuk takes it away. The Sillinger near side of the neutral zone. He'll bring it over the Penguins line in the high slot, now to the near circle, down to the corner, out of the reach of Monahan. He'll chase the rebound over to the far corner, though. Swings it rink wide to Provorov at the point. Quick shot on net, stick save Jari. It goes searing over to the near corner. Sillinger looks to play it. 40 seconds to go in the second period. Monahan's got it to Provorov near point. To the far circle, Werenski cuts on in. Centering pass. Big kick save by Tristan Jarry.
Oh, my goodness, Tristan Jarry. That is a lightning quick right toe save to keep this a 2-1 hockey game.
25 seconds to go in the second. Ahead to the far side, Wotherspoon breaks up the pass to Voronkov. 15 seconds to go. Fantilli's got it. Far corner, centering pass. Letang was there. Couldn't clear it out. Coyle's got it. Near circle. Takes it down. Whiffed on a shot as he fell down to the ice. 7 seconds to go in the period. Fight for the puck in the near corner. Played up one-timer. Wensi scores. The Jackets relentless in this period. And they don't stop coming. 3.3 seconds left. Zach Werenski with his 9th goal of the season, and it's 3-1 Columbus.
Well, Joe, I don't say this very often, but Chris Letang just got absolutely outworked by Charlie Coyle. It started with a Chris Letang turnover as he flubbed a backhand through the middle of the ice. And then all chaos broke out as Chris Letang was down in the corner battling for a loose puck, and Charlie Coyle just went into beast mode and just ripped the puck away from Chris Letang, got it to Zach Werenski, and he just wires a puck over the left hand of Tristan Jarry. That's a huge goal in this hockey game. 3-1 Jackets.
Columbus took their first lead with a shorthanded goal in the second. And in the final 3.3 seconds of this second period, they take a 2-goal advantage. Penguins with a lot of work to do come the third period. We'll get to it after Brian Metzer's second intermission report, along with a chat with the old 2 Niners. The Penguins trail Columbus 3-1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hi, Staggy here to tell you about another great product from Nova Scotia. Mr. Donair Beef Jerky and Sticks, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins. In Canada, Donair is similar to gyro meat, but it's seasoned beef, not lamb. And like 87, Mr. Donair Beef Jerky is absolutely off the charts. It's keto-friendly, high in protein, and Mr. Donair's gyro seasoning makes it the best jerky you'll ever taste. You'll find it on Amazon, Cohen Markets, Turkey Hill, Country Fair, and PPG Paints Arena. Mr. Donair, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are home for the holidays. Start a 5-game home stretch at PPG Paints Arena on Tuesday, December 9th against the Anaheim Ducks.
Here they come into the Leaf zone. It's Crosby, far half wall, over to Carlson in the circle. He scores! First goal of the year for Erik Karlsson, and it breaks the ice here in Canada. A 1-0 lead.
Make sure to come hungry. It's the second Dollar Dog Night of the season. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
The Penguins trail the Blue Jackets 3-1 after 2 periods of play at Nationwide Arena in Columbus. Brian Metzer back here with you, and not the greatest period of hockey we've seen from the Penguins this season. They were outshot 13-7, and they gave up 2 more goals to the Blue Jackets. The first was really a heart 8 causing one. It came with them on the power play. They were going to work with Kent Johnson in the box for tripping. He went at 2:46, and unfortunately, 2 things happened. Evgeny Malkin collided with Brian Rust, and he looked to really cause him some severe discomfort. He left for a good bit with that. And then Brandon Gaunt scores his first of the season shorthanded, finishing off a feed from Miles Wood and Zach Werenski. They got that one at 3:51. As I said, it was a 2-on-1 situation. They just chipped the puck past the Penguins at their own blue line and went to work and scored that goal to get the game a 2-1 lead for themselves. Then, just when you thought the Penguins were going to get themselves out of the period, it was Zach Werenski again. He gets his 9th goal of the season from Charlie Coyle. This was after Chris Letang looked to have a chance to clear the puck from the slot area, flipped it up into an area where the Blue Jackets gloved it, threw it down, and went to work. He lost it again in the corner, and after a couple of misplays by a lot of different people, it seemed, but Letang was front and center on it. Werenski ends up getting the puck and fires it past Tristan Jarry at 19:56. So just a tough period of play for them. They had to kill off a power play for the Blue Jackets with Evgeny Malkin going to the box at 7:12 for tripping. They were able to take care of that, but overall just looking a little bit worse for wear through that entire second period. They I don't know. I had some higher hopes after the first period of play. They looked like they were starting to maybe get a couple of things going in their direction. Pretty evenly played period between they and the Blue Jackets before it all just slipped away and the Blue Jackets looked to take a foothold. They didn't really test Jet Greaves too much, and they need to do that if they'd like to find a way to close this one out or to pick up some points in this game, that is. They were outshot 13-7, and now for the game, outshot 21-14 for this hockey game. When I come back, some hockey talk with the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. You'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com. and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
As the official professional products partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Kimberly-Clark Professionals deliver trusted brands like Scott, Kleenex, and Wipe-All to deliver game-ready hygiene solutions that keep facilities clean, efficient, and prepared for action. Learn more at kcprofessional.com.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
My dog Montague has always looked out for other people. So when he saw that our neighbor was hungry, we both jumped into action. We grabbed cans, friends, and a sled to get everyone the food they need. Eventually, the whole neighborhood joined in, donating food and money to help. Because it takes a neighborhood to feed a neighborhood. Visit unhungry.org to help feed yours. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
It's crunch time. The Shop and Save Tailgate Zone giveaway is happening right now until December 21st. Grab game day snacks that bring the energy and enter for your shot to win a free tailgate party valued up to $450. Just head in store, find the Tailgate Zone signs, and scan the QR code to enter online. One tailgate party is given away every week. Submit an entry each week to be eligible. Shop, save, enjoy life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. See store for official rules.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins trail the Jackets 3-1 after 2 at Nationwide Arena. Brian Metzer back here with you, but joining me now live from Nationwide Arena, none other than the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, making his return to the booth with us tonight. Bourque, just your thoughts on this game so far. We've seen all sides of the Penguins, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I'd say.
A little bit too much ugly for me, if I'm being honest with you. Some spurts, some moments for the Penguins, but the turnovers, they're absolutely killing. It's self-inflicted pain by the Penguins. And the Blue Jackets are not doing anything fancy. Have they been opportunistic? Yes. Have they taken what the Penguins have given them? Yes. And I just think the Penguins, they got to find a way to get back in this hockey game. This game is huge. When you look at what's going on in the Metro and the Eastern Conference and all these teams around them winning, you got 15 games here tonight. 30 of 32 teams are in play here tonight, just like it was the night before Thanksgiving. The Penguins have got to find a way here to get back in this hockey game and button up and stop turning the puck over.
Yeah, turning it over way too often, and unfortunately, the recipient of a lot of those turnovers is Tristan Jarry. They've left him hanging quite a bit, and I wanted your opinion on him now. I mean, there's been a lot of people commenting on what's different about him this year. Some say, he became a father. Some other things with his mentality have changed. He looks like a new man, and it's a shame because they're just not performing in front of him, and he's going to reap the benefit of a lot of criticism if they lose, and it's not necessarily fair.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure to say something up here in the booth because Tristan Jarry is the reason this game's 3-1. It hasn't gotten completely away from the Penguins and Tristan Jarry, and I think that's a big part of it. You bring up a good point. I think fatherhood has probably brought things, because for Tristan Jarry, it's kind of brought things in focus, right?
Yeah.
And what's really meaningful, and not take the losses so hard and go home and your kid's smiling, doesn't care if you won or lost. So I think that's a big part of it. Just maturation, to kind of feel like you've gone through some really tough times last year, being sent to the American Hockey League twice, and to come out through the other side and feeling like you have a new chance here with a new coach, and some healthy competition too, right? That Tristan Jarry really has to look over his shoulder and feel like, whether it's Murashov or Shilovs, both those guys are legitimate NHL goaltenders that want to be the number one guy. And so I think all of those things have put Tristan Jarry in a good place.
I wanted to ask you, speaking of Tristan Jarry, Borky, just how does a player, specifically a goaltender, I guess, but just players in general, trade rumors swirling this time of year for a number of different guys. Of course, his name's come up a little bit. Does that affect you a lot on the ice? Do you want to perform better, worse, or does it get in your head at all?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't even know if I even want to ask Tristan about that. But, at some point of your career, and maybe Tristan's at that point, well, early on, they affect you. I know I heard my name kind of bounce around early on in my career when I really didn't want to leave Pittsburgh,
Yep.
And obviously it didn't happen. But I think you kind of get to a point where if you hear it enough, you just feel like, I can't control that. You get to a certain point where you have enough confidence in yourself that there's nothing I can do but perform to my best. And hopefully if I keep getting better, that team that's thinking about trading me will never trade me. And so that's probably where Tristan is right now. Confident enough in his abilities that whatever happens. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be happy with my family wherever we're living, and hopefully it's in Pittsburgh.
And Borky, we have just under a minute here, but I wanted to ask you about Dan Muse. We saw like a happy-go-lucky version of him. I mean, he was still him in the early going of this season. He's been a little bit rough around the edges lately, and just curious for your take on the dynamics of that change.
No, I like it. I mean, that's how you want your coach to be. You want him to be, passionate and hate to lose more than he loves to win. And when something hard or difficult needs to be said, then go ahead and say it. And, whatever the fallout is of it, then so be it. You're the ice general. You're the one who dictates, the mood in the locker room, the mood in the practice, the mood in the bench, the mood on the plane.
Yep.
And so if things aren't going your way, then say the things that need to be said. And whatever happens. But sometimes, you respect a guy that speaks from the heart. And I think that's where it comes from Dan Muse.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Borky. Thank you for this. Safe travels home tonight, and I'll see you whenever the Leafs and their fans invade PPG tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow night against the Leafs.
Thank you, my friend. That is the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. Always some great hockey talk with him. When I come back, some news and notes from around the league, and you'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. Fanatics experience.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Looking for the ultimate getaway? Stay and play at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino. Whether you're here for a weekend escape or a midweek retreat, we've got everything you need under one roof. Wake up refreshed in one of our stunning rooms and head straight to the action. Just steps away from the casino floor. Enjoy a variety of gaming, dining, and entertainment, all just outside your door. Visit riverscasino.com and book your stay today. Experience the best of both worlds at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanger.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
Penguins trail the Blue Jackets 3-1 after 2. Brian Metzer back here with you, and figured you might want a Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins update. They currently lead the Lehigh Valley Phantoms 3-0, 17:30 to go in the third period of that one. And if you're keeping score at home, Rutger McGroarty, who made his return from injury recently for the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins. Well, he just scored his 4th goal in 4 games. Can we get him to Pittsburgh? I'm calling it out now. I'm sure everyone listening wants him up here as well. He's playing so great. Everyone that you talk to says his skating is 100% better than it was last year at this time. So that's a good thing, because that was probably the only knock that people had, was that he wasn't maybe quite the skater you would have hoped for his level of skill and where he was taken in the draft, etc. But overall, he looks like he is going to be a fine player for the Penguins organization, be it here or there. And I hope it's here sooner rather than later, because he brings an awful lot to the table that the Penguins could use, namely offense. And as I mentioned, scored his 4th goal in 4 games tonight for the baby Penguins. Penguins themselves, they got to get themselves going. They are down 3-1 after 2 periods of play. You heard Borky talking about it. This game is really winnable for them if they can get a couple on the board, and it all starts here in mere moments when Joe Brand and Phil Bork bring you third period action from Nationwide Arena. You'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Johnny's on his couch. It's almost game time, and he's fiddling with the remote. He can't find the game. He's really struggling. He's not going to find it. He threw the remote. He has thrown the remote.
Is this your sports experience? With live sports on the SiriusXM app, all the big games are just a tap away.
Wait. Johnny's pulling out his phone. He's got the SiriusXM app. He's listening to the game. I did it. Have yourself a day, Johnny. Have yourself a day.
The NHL is on SiriusXM.
3-on-1. Connor McDavid, right circle, dishes, gets it back and scores.
With your favorite team's calls all season long.
It's a power play goal for Matthew Tkachuk.
The rivalries, the big goals, the moments you wait for. Plus, insiders to bring you closer to the decisions that shape the league.
Commissioner of the NHL, Mr. Gary Bettman.
NHL Network Radio, where the hockey talk never stops. On SiriusXM 91 in the car and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken, don't suck. That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
the biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, loose in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Different. Federally insured by NCUA.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The fastest game on ice. He scores! SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
The Penguins trail the Columbus Blue Jackets 3-1 as we're set to begin this third period. It's the first half of a back-to-back. The Penguins are back home tomorrow hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs. But before you know it, fans, it's going to be the month of December. And the Penguins are going to be playing games then, too. If you haven't heard, you can save 30% off tickets to 4 upcoming weekend games at PPG Paints Arena with Cyber Weekend Savings. This limited-time offer is available now through Monday, December 1st. For the game on Sunday, December 14th against Utah, Sunday, December 21st against Montreal, Saturday, January 10th against Calgary, and Saturday, January 17th against these Columbus Blue Jackets. That's the ugly sweater game, the Evgeny Malkin bobblehead game, Grateful Dead nights, but you have to use the code CYBER, C-Y-B-E-R, at PittsburghPenguins.com/cyber. Again, from now until December 1st, as the Penguins score! Brian Rust has scored in back-to-back games, and 13 seconds in, he brings the Penguins within 1 goal. It's 3-2 Columbus.
Wow. Left the game twice in the second period. And what a wicked wrister this is. This is from long range. Jet Greaves is down early. Brian Rust senses that. And from it's got to be close to 30 feet out. He just wires a wrister, and it's perfectly placed right by the left earlobe of Jet Greaves. He tries to get the glove hand up, but it sails over that left glove hand under the crossbar, and Brian Rust has brought the Penguins back just down the goal. It's now 3-2 Jackets.
That is exactly what the Penguins needed.
Amen.
Scoring 13 seconds in. Obviously a big cyber deal giveaway that we'll talk about a little bit later as the Penguins back within a goal early in this third period. Pens in their road white sweaters attacking from right to left with Tristan Jarry in net. The Columbus Blue Jackets in their alternate dark blue sweaters attacking from left to right. Centering pass to Provorov in the Penguins zone. He'll send it around the boards. The opening face-off to begin this third period is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. Penguins clear it out towards center ice, but Provorov takes it back. Head to Charlie Coyle in between the penalty boxes. He'll backhand chip it down to the near corner of the Penguins end. Shea waits for it. Gets wrapped up into the boards against Rowensky. Blue Jackets take it back. A centering pass that gets stolen away by Tommy Novak. He and Anthony Mantha cruise over the Jackets line. Far circle, cuts towards the crease, leaves it for Malkin. Backhanded pass looking for Mantha. Couldn't connect. But he does take the puck back. Mantha to the high slot. Over to the point for Letang. Tried to snap a pass over to Shea, but it went to the neutral zone. Penguins have to regroup. To Malkin at center ice. Only got it to Novak right next to him. Back to Shea to help give some momentum for the Penguins back into Columbus's zone. But an errant pass taken away by Severson. Now Luca Pinelli will carry it through the neutral zone to Sillinger over the Penguins line near half boards. Down to the corner. He takes it in behind the net of Tristan Jarry. Chips it over to the far side. Brian Shea pumps it in behind the net to Chris Letang. He'll take it to the near side. Snaps it all the way ahead. He's looking for Mantha, who's almost cherry picking over at the Columbus blue line. As Columbus brought it into the Penguins zone, but the Pens kick it out. 2 minutes gone in this third period. Brian Rust scored 13 seconds into it to bring the Penguins back within 1.
And the Penguins are trying to do something they have not done this season, and that is win a hockey game when trailing after 40 minutes of play. Their record so far 0-3-1.
They're outscoring their opponents 25-19 in the third period, including tonight. A lot of hockey to be played, 17 and a half minutes. As Carlson keeps it alive at the point, sends it down along the far boards. And behind the net, Koivunen pokes at it. Brendan Smith pins him against the boards, though, as Dante Fabro tries to get a hold of it. The Penguins still work at it along the far wall as Fabro does kick it downstairs to Smith now. Up ahead to Voronkov. Out to the neutral zone it goes, but Ben Kindle swipes the puck away. Near side to Wotherspoon. He'll flip it up and just out of play. As it got deflected somewhere. 3 minutes gone in the third period. Penguins down by 1. It's 3-2 Columbus.
Just to piggyback your thought there, yeah, the Penguins are a +8 in third periods. That's their best. And for the Jackets, third period's their worst. With that Russ goal, they're now a -12.
And Columbus has 4 losses in this month of November when they've led in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, we mentioned 7 of their 10, 16 of their 24 games have been 1-goal games, and here we are again.
And the last 8 games for Jet Greaves have been decided by 1 goal. 7 of those have gone to overtime or a shootout. Blake Lizotte to Dumba at the far point. Penguins within the Jackets' end. Rister, blocker save from Greaves. Rebound pops out to the circle as Aston Reese clears it out towards center. Graves quickly gets it ahead to Kopanen. He tried for a touch pass to Lizotte. Couldn't connect as the Jackets take it back. Severson with a rink-wide pass to Aston Reese over the Penguins line. Far circle, drags, fires, got deflected. Out to the neutral, out to the slot that Blake Lizotte shoveled it out of the way. Connor Dewar now chips it into Columbus's end far corner. Rolls along the end boards to the near side. Severson races it down, tries to poke it ahead. Got it to Chinakhov. He'll chip it out to the neutral zone. Yona Kopanen settles the loose puck as he was tangled up with Brendan Gaunce for a moment. Penguins still with hold of it. 4 minutes gone in the third. 3-2 Columbus here at Nationwide Arena. Jet Greaves out of his net to play it. Got it to Rowensky. It's played out to the neutral zone as Ryan Shea will race it down to the Penguins' end. Takes it in behind Jari's net. Up to the near side ahead to Kevin Hayes. Skates over the Blue Jackets logo. Now over the line. Rister, glove save by Greaves. 4 minutes and 13 seconds gone in the third period. Penguins down by a goal. It's 3-2 Columbus.
You know, Joe, the Penguins' last game against the Buffalo Sabres, they got a goal from Matt Dumba. It's an empty net goal by Connor Dewar, but and also a goal by Kevin Hayes, and just, you know, how that could float the boats of everybody, getting that scoring spread out a little bit more. And I mention that because tonight it's just sitting rusty.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is a great opportunity. It's such an important game for the Penguins for somebody else to chip in here.
Face-off to the right of Greaves. Lundestrom takes over for the face-off and broke his stick on the attempt against Crosby. Crosby now talking with the official. They're kicking Crosby out of the face-off now?
I think they are. Yeah, they are. Wow.
Sid was not happy with that call.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sid.
And he rips a shot that's patted away by Greaves after Hayes somewhat won the face-off.
How great would that have been? Sid gets tossed, chirps the linesman, and then gets a tuck.
Here's Hayes looking for Russ. Couldn't connect as Rowensky breaks off the pass. Wotherspoon keeps it alive at the point, sends it down, but Lundestrom takes it away. Ahead to Coyle, who chips it down to the near corner in the Penguins' end. Now Coyle on a bit of a breakaway, centering pass. Lundestrom can't get it past Jari with a left pad save. He stuffed it out.
Oh my goodness gracious. A 2-on-0 in front of Tristan Jari, and Charlie Coyle tries to send it to Isaac Lundestrom, and the first attempt by Lundestrom was a swing and a miss. Jari was there to make the save anyways, but the second attempt, I'm watching another replay. He did get something on the first one, and Jari was there. So just great anticipation. Oh, yeah. He got a lot on that first one. I beg your pardon. And then he got another whack while down on his knee, and Jari was there too.
I feel like Jari's flipper saves tonight have been exceptionally impressive.
Yeah.
And quickly going back to Sid nearly scoring in the faceoff. Did he make a bet with Mark Madden or something that... Did Madden say he couldn't score off the face-off?
That's Mario.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. The Mario made a bet with Mark Madden, and that's probably 30 years ago. And the bet was, I think, $6,666 to, at the time would have been the Penguins Foundation, and Mark Madden paid up.
He did.
And
Didn't Mario say something along the lines of, I thought it was $66,000 was the bet. Penguins down by a goal. Brian Rust scoring 13 seconds into this third period. Has them back within one. Columbus plays it out towards center ice. Fabro over the Penguins line near side. Flips one towards the net. Jari with a low glove save. Stopping a skipping puck as Pinelli got wrapped up with Letang in behind the net. And now Pinelli in a little bit of a headlock with Anthony Mantha.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Luca Pinelli is trying to prove there. It's a slow dribbler into Tristan Jari, and Pinelli just goes flying in there, almost trying to pitchfork the puck from underneath Tristan Jari's glove, and of course he's going to draw attention there.
Got Pinelli playing in his second NHL game, made his debut Wednesday night here at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. 20-year-old out of Stony Creek, Ontario. It'll be a face-off to the left of Jari. Fantilli against Blake Lizotte. The Penguins win. Connor Dewar chips it up ahead. But Fantilli settles it down. Now Lizotte steals away a pass, keeps it alive in the Jackets, and rips a shot, stops it in the traffic. Cleared up to the circle as Fantilli will take it away. Here come the Jackets in a little bit of transition. Voronkov over the Penguins line, shovels a pass looking for Kent Johnson, couldn't connect.
Good gap there by Wilderspoon. It looked like a fast break for the Jackets, but it all got slowed down. And now we got a high stick on the puck or a high sticking penalty. High stick on the puck.
14:04 to go in this third period. Penguins down 3-2.
Well, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. From right here in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation driving the next big play. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
By the way, Erik Karlsson received the only assist on the Brian Rust goal. That's his 14th of the year. 15th total point. Penguins dump it down to Columbus's end. It's cleared out by the Jackets all the way down to the Penguins end. Chris Letang first to get there, trying to snap a pass ahead. Gets deflected out of play over the benches and sends us to our first break of the third. 13:48 to play from Columbus. The Penguins are down by one. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Let's focus on what matters.
The push for the fantasy football playoffs is on.
Doesn't matter where we are right now. We got to make the postseason, and ultimately we got to win the league. If you don't make the playoffs, what's this all for?
The experts of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio are here to lead you to fantasy football glory.
His floor is higher. I'll take the higher floor as opposed to the higher ceiling.
Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app, where fantasy football championships are won.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it, there's a chance, rebound, Caulfield, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Brian Rust's goal with 13 seconds into the third period has the Penguins back within one. It's 3-2 Columbus. Right now, 13:48 left in regulation. And we'll get a face-off at center ice. It'll be Charlie Coyle against Sidney Crosby. Drop of the puck and the Jackets control. Provorov has to dart back into his own zone to play keep away from the Pens. Isaac Lundestrom chips it down to the corner. Ryan Shea races after it. That gets crunched into the boards by Coyle. Tang looking to sweep it away. Got it out to the far side. And Werenski could have had a clean opportunity to set something up, but he couldn't handle the puck. Head of the neutral zone as Coyle collects. Curls around and nearly got stripped of the puck by Crosby, but Coyle carries on. Miles Wood with a rink-wide pass. Knocked out of midair by Ryan Shea. Kevin Hayes gets it to Sidney Crosby. Now to Rust, and the Penguins are offside. Entering into the Jacket zone with 13:11 to go in regulation. It's 3-2 Columbus.
The Penguins had a 3-on-2 break with a late back checker, and that's why Kevin Hayes couldn't slow down. He knew if he did, that play would have vanished, and had to keep just hoping that maybe Rusty could get that puck over the blue line while he was trying to break. Hayes was trying to break away from the back checker, and it was just half a stride offside.
Hayes up on the top line with Crosby and Rust. It's his 8th game this year. Dealt with an upper body injury during the preseason. First day of preseason, really, as this puck gets deflected into the Columbus bench. It's caught by Elvis Merzlikins, the Columbus goaltender, and all the fans trying to earn the right to get the puck. Merzlikins gives it to one of the trainers, though, who flips it over the boards. Penguins dump it into Columbus's zone, but the Blue Jackets look to work it out. Monahan's pass gets deflected right on net. Greaves will play it over to the near side. Penguins keep it alive. Koivunen along the boards. Goes chipped out, but handled by Monahan, who digs it out the neutral zone. Now Matt Dumba races it down to the Penguins' end, scoops it up in the near corner.
And this line here, the Ben Kindle line with Heinen and Koivunen, just way too quiet in this game so far.
There's Koivunen on the near side in the circle. Cross-ice pass looking for Heinen, well out of his reach. It goes out to the neutral zone.
And Koivunen had both Kindle and Heinen standing in front of the net, and he tried to pass back to a defenseman. Just get it to the net.
Koivunen near circle, wrists one, and it goes high. 12:19 to go in regulation, 3-2 Columbus.
And if I could, I've said this before, and I'm at the risk of repeating myself, if I could put a little Post-it note in Ville Koivunen's suggestion box, get it off your stick quicker.
Yep.
And that's the thing. He's still almost at American Hockey League level in his release. He's going to get enough. He shoots the puck hard. He's got a really good shot. He just takes too long for it to get off. And so many times, those great opportunities he has, they either get blocked, stick on puck, or he gets checked off the puck because he's just waiting too long to get it off his stick.
Koivunen had 7 assists in 8 games last year, and he finished the year with 5 straight games, picking up at least an assist. 12 games this season, he has 2 points, both of them assists. He's still looking for that first goal. He's had some prime opportunities. But you're right, and you've also been saying this a lot, which I think goes to show what the frustration has been most for him. We've seen it a few times tonight.
Again, the shot by Brian Rust was more of a quick release that surprised Jet Greaves. That's the thing at the NHL level. It's more about surprising goaltenders than blowing it past them.
Jackets back in the Penguin zone. Fantilli with a shot that got deflected, and then Jari sticks it over to the far side. Columbus resetting in the neutral zone, but the Penguins take it away. Novak looking ahead for Crosby. Has to play it off the far boards. He scores! Plays the rebound off the far wall and cuts in front of Greaves. The captain has tied things up in the third.
Oh boy, they're going to take a long look at this one. This looked really, really close to being offsides. Hold the phone here. Before I get jumping up and down and fist pumping, I want to make sure this one is onside. They're going to drop the puck. The way that Sidney Crosby exploded, and you can't blame Jet Greaves for not coming out of his net. It's Sid! And he took 3 powerful strides as he got to the puck, reached out with his one hand. And he's right on top of Jet Greaves. Reaches out in one hand, and then pulls it to the forehand, and boom, rips it over the pad under the blocker. Just an incredible play by the captain. We are tied at 3.
It was honestly the angle of the puck going into no man's land that worked in Sidney Crosby's favor.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like you said, if Greaves comes out, Sid has an opportunity to pull the puck away and just have a wide open net. This is icing by the Pens.
It was, you're right. It was so weird how it went off the boards to the right of Sid. It bounced just with enough speed where Greaves couldn't come out and Sid could still get at it.
Because for the longest time, it all happened in slow motion. Yeah. For the longest time, it looked like it was just going to be a little bit too much out of the reach of Crosby.
Exactly, Joe. You're like, oh no, this is going to roll into Greaves, and Sid's going to be right on top of Greaves, but no.
Now Kevin Hayes with a turnover and tries to tuck one past Jet Greaves, but he stuffs it out. But Sidney Crosby, with his second goal of the night, has tied the game up. There's 11 minutes to go here from Columbus.
Sid, Rust, Sid. And Tommy Novak's going to get the apple here. And right now, with 10:55 to go in regulation, and you mentioned it, the Columbus Blue Jackets, listen, it wasn't that long ago. It was a month ago that the Penguins were down by 2 goals in the third period to these Columbus Blue Jackets. And it was Chris Letang and Brian Rust that got it to bonus hockey here. Let's see if the Penguins can finish this one off in regulation, because they have all the momentum right now.
Matt Dumbo walks the blue line, ripped a shot, got blocked by Lundestrom. Dewar plays the loose puck at the corner. Up to Lazant, near half wall, down to the hash marks. He'll shovel it up to the point, looking for Graves. Instead, no, it stays along the near wall. Connor Dewar sends it deep. Along to the end boards, Brendan Smith, but Blake Lazat comes rushing in there, slows things down, but the Jackets still work it out towards the neutral zone as Brendan Gaunce gets taken down by Connor Dewar with a good hip check.
That was all or nothing for Connor Dewar, because he was the F3 forward, so he had to go back and play defense. That's a one-on-one situation. He's right in front of the Penguins bench, said, I'm going to throw the big hit here. I hope I get a piece, and he did.
Exactly 10 minutes to go in the third period. We're tied up at 3. The Penguins with 2 goals in this period. Brian Rust 13 seconds in. Sidney Crosby just a few moments ago tying things up.
Let's give Parker Wolderspoon a second apple on the Sid goal. That's 7 assists already for Parker Wolderspoon.
Jackets work it out towards center ice. Sillinger ahead to Rowensky over the Penguins line down to the far corner. Carlson breaks it up, pitches it along the wall. Sillinger keeps it alive. Quick shot on net, went wide. A long rebound is played by Mantha, swept up to Malkin. He's in the Jackets zone. The near circle tried to drag, couldn't get around Provorov. Meanwhile, Tommy Novak taken down. Meanwhile, Pinelli's over the Penguins line on the far side. Will ring it around the boards. Jari stopped it midair, left it for Carlson. He took a high stick to the helmet, and nothing called.
Oh my goodness. That was the youngster, Pinelli, with one hand on the stick, waved it right out, knocked it right off the side of the helmet of Erik Karlsson. No call.
Carlson and the official jawing at each other as Carlson had the puck. They were both kind of pointing the finger at each other, and Carlson on the bench now still barking at the official. Now Matejchuk over the Penguins line. He'll send it around the boards to the near half wall for Voronkov. Takes it down to the corner, wrapped up by Ben Kindle. As Kindle takes him down, nothing called. As it's flipped over to Ryan Shea and behind Jari's net. 8.5 to play from Columbus. We're tied at 3. Penguins dump it down into the Jackets end. Off the end boards, Matejchuk sends it around the near wall. Voronkov slows it down, sends it up ahead to Johnson. He brings it over the Penguins line, near side, slows down, went for a centering pass that goes off the shin pad of Ryan Shea. Out to the neutral zone it goes, where Provorov will handle. Sidney Crosby scored the first goal of this game. After that, Columbus jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Brian Rust, 13 seconds into the period. Sidney Crosby tied things up in the third. Sid's on hat-trick watch. 7:45 to go in regulation. Crosby gets it to Dumba over the Jackets line. Now over the line. Takes it to the far circle. Fires a shot. Glove save Greaves. With 7:40 to go from Columbus, the Penguins have tied things up. It's 3-3 against the Jackets on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough. and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Get your business in the game with Glass Mirror Fuel. We supply gas, diesel, propane, and other fuels for businesses throughout Western and Central PA. We even loan tanks and pumps. Call 800-235-9054 or visit glassmirror.com. Your power play for fuel.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins. We're tied at 3 from Columbus, 7:40 to go from Nationwide Arena. Brian Rust and Sidney Crosby with goals in this third period. For Sid, he's got 2 tonight. And he's on hat-trick watch. Looking for his 18th of his career. His 14th, rather he has 14, his 15th in the regular season. His last 4 hat-tricks have come on the road. 2 out of his last 3 have come against these Blue Jackets here at Nationwide Arena.
January 21st of 22, 5-2 Penguins win. November the 14th of 23, a 5-3 Penguins win. His last home, puck rolls into Jet Greaves here off the faceoff. His last home hat-trick in the regular season, March the 19th, 2017. Against the Florida Panthers in a 4-0 Penguins win.
Quick click on that on Hockey Reference. All 3 of his goals, the primary assist from Jake Gensel, the secondary assist from Connor Sheary.
Wow.
And Patrick Hornquist scored the only goal. Wow, how about this? Patrick Hornquist scored the only goal for Florida in that game. Assist by Phil Kessel and Matt Cullen.
He scored for Florida?
Oh, no, there it is. Sorry. I was totally misreading this.
Because he played for Florida.
That's where I thought I was going down that road. Meanwhile, here in Columbus, Zach Rowinski fumbles the puck far circle. We're tied at 3 with 7 minutes to go in regulation. Quick shot on net, deflected away. Now a stretch pass looking for Rust. Off that far board again. He cranks one. Saved by Greaves.
What off the collarbone of Greaves. Brian Rust at the end of his shift. He completely emptied the tank to get to that loose puck. Knew he couldn't get to the goal, so he let the slapper go. Went right off the collarbone of Greaves.
Penn's back in the Jackets, and a one-timer from Ryan Graves exploded his stick as the Penguins try to keep it alive in the Jackets' end, but it's kicked out towards center ice. 6.5 to play from Nationwide Arena. We're tied at 3. Jackets send it off the far corner. Rolls over to the boards as Dumba sweeps it out towards center ice, but right to Brendan Smith. Dante Fabro pitches it back to Luca Pinelli. Over to Ryan Graves, who sweeps it to Matt Dumba. Graves carries it towards center, up ahead to Anthony Mantha, over the Jackets line at the point, down to the corners. It's played off the wall. Malkin keeps it alive below the goal line. Got it to Mantha. The hash marks at the near circle. Up to Ryan Shea at the point. To Letang in the high slot. Hill fired. Tumbling puck kept out by Greaves as Koponen was right in front of Greaves. Caught a little deflection, but the Columbus goaltender still able to stop the trickling puck. 5:55 left in Columbus. We're tied at 3. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Not every song makes it to the top. These did. Tap into a channel filled with 2025's unstoppable, undeniable #1 hits. Alongside the chart toppers defining this decade, Billboard 2025 #1s. Now for a limited time, exclusively in the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Window Nation, the perfect fit.
.55 to go from Columbus. Pens and Jackets are tied up at 3. The first half of a back-to-back. The Penguins will be back home hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow night. They led this game 1-0. Columbus came back with 3. Goals by Brian Russ and Sidney Crosby in this third have things evened up. Drawn the Jackets and the Penguins win. Send it over to the far corner. Now it's dumped down to the near side. Ben Kindle trying to flip a centering pass. Jackets take it the other way. They could have numbers ahead to Chinikov. Near circle, slows down, fires, kick, saved by Jari with the right pass.
Ben Kindle's got to realize you're in a 3-3 game, under 6 minutes. North, get everything, funnel everything to the net. That's just too risky a pass to try to thread the needle and go back to a defenseman.
Jackets trying to keep it alive at the near point. Puck is popping up in the air. Koivunen throwing a chicken wing at it to try to keep it alive for the Penguins side of things. Swung around the boards by Letang. Over to the far point for Heinen. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Gauntz gets it down low. Aston Reese below the goal line. Takes it to the near side. Up along the wall for Severson at the point. Walks the blue line. High slot. Fires. Got directed over to the near corner. Kept over to the slot. It's kicked out and taken back by the Penguins. Heinen will take it towards center ice. Now over the Jackets line to Koivunen near half wall. Went for a head pass looking for Heinen. Couldn't connect, but Danton Heinen will now swing it around the boards over to the far point. Carlson had to play cautiously. Swats it back into Columbus's end, but the Penguins are offside.
That's not easy there for... That's a bouncing puck, and Carlson wants to keep it in the zone, but has to respect the Blue Jacket that was right in his face and knocked that puck out of midair.
Still tied at 3 with 4.5 to play from Columbus, which means if the Penguins score, you win a free Big Mac. Penguins score in the final 5 minutes. The turnaround shot is kicked wide by Jari. Penguins score in the final 5 minutes of a game this year. You win a free Big Mac, courtesy of the McDonald's app. Offer is valid 3 days after purchasing. Go ahead and download the McDonald's app. Pick up your free Big Mac if the Penguins score in these final 5 minutes. Already have half-off Russ shakes for another night. Again, the Penguins home tomorrow against the Toronto Maple Leafs. We've got 4 minutes to go from Columbus. The Blue Jackets enter the Penguin zone. It's Fantilli on the near half wall. Down to the corner, stops on a dime. Now plays it towards the goal line. Up to Provorov. Near circle, ripped a shot, gets deflected over to the far side.
Parker Woldersman with a big block there on Provorov.
Provorov has to settle the puck down in the neutral zone. Slings it into the Penguins' end. Far corner, Graves waits for it. Let it roll for Lizotte. He'll chip it over to Brian Russ, who sends it ahead to Koivunen, that is. Koivunen shovels it over to the far side. Lizotte digs it deep to the end boards. Played below the goal line. Koivunen went for a centering pass. Kicked wide by the Jackets. 3:20 to play here from Columbus. Brendan Smith, the Blue Jackets, gets it to Favreau. Now up ahead to Ken Johnson. He'll take it in between the penalty boxes and sling it down to the Penguins' end around the boards. Voronkov waiting at the half wall. Couldn't keep it alive at the far point. Johnson now will send it off of Voronkov. Penguins pull it away. It's on the stick of Lizotte. Shovels it over to Dewar. Only got a one-hand poke on it. Sean Monahan's got it. He'll chip it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Less than 3 to play from Columbus. We're tied at 3. Severson with the puck in the neutral zone. Back skates into his own end. Up ahead to Luca Pinelli. He'll take it over the Penguins line, chip it down to the near corner. It's Sillinger waiting for it. He'll pitch it up along the near wall. Couldn't get enough on it, though, as Graves escapes it to Novak. Malkin in full flight. He's over the Jackets line, far side. Sent it down towards the corner. Couldn't get it to Mantha cleanly. Jackets will take it the other way. It's loose, taken by Letang. He tried to snap a cross-ice pass, but it hit the backside of Novak. Now the puck is in the Penguins' end. kicked away by Mantha, but coughed right up to Damon Severson. He'll reset for the Jackets with 2:20 to go in this game. Now the Jackets cough up the puck. Novak's over the Columbus blue line, near side. He'll send it around the boards. To the far corner it goes as Provorov pitches it up and out towards center ice into the Penguins, and Ryan Shea races it down. Tied at 3 with 2 minutes to go from Columbus. Penguins and Jackets playing in their second game of a 4-game season series. Pens dump it on in. Jet Greaves cranks it around the boards. Coyle takes the loose puck, pitches it out towards the Penguins, and it's raced down by Ryan Shea. Now over to the near side for Danton Heinen. He skates it over the Jackets line, leaves it for Letang at the near point. Heinen in the corner, plays it off the wall, sweeps it over to Crosby. He's got 2 goals tonight. Rister coming, doesn't get through traffic. Kicked out by Fantilli. He'll play it over to Miles Wood. Wood throws it towards the Penguins, and Jari out of his net with a poke check to kick it over to the corner, but Fantilli still swings it around the boards. 1:25 to go from Columbus. We're tied at 3. This puck pops up in the air and goes out of play with 1:24 left on the clock. A 3-3 tie.
Interesting that Dan Muse elected to go with Danton Heinen up with Sidney Crosby on the left wing instead of Kevin Hayes. And I think that's more, it's not a knock on Kevin Hayes, it's just more of an endorsement. Danton Heinen is a little bit stronger defensively, a little bit better skater. In a situation where you want to make sure you at least get this to bonus hockey. And when the Penguins came into this third period, down 3-1.
Jackets win the draw. Rister tumbling puck. Jari keeps it out. They hack and whack at it. It's over to the far side and now in behind the net.
How did he make that save on that deflection on the Severson shot off the faceoff? And now his stick is way over in the corner. There's no way he can leave the net to go get it.
The Jackets chip it down to the far corner. Carlson races after it. It just misses Jari's net as the Penguins swing it around the boards on the near side. Final minute here from Columbus. Lazat takes it to the neutral zone. Near side dumps it in. That allows Jari to race after his stick, pick it up in the far corner. Columbus kicks it out to the neutral zone. Ryan Shea's got it. 45 seconds to go here from Nationwide Arena in Columbus. Ryan Shea, a wrister, goes wide of the net, bangs off the end glass to the far side. Miles Wood chips it out towards center ice. Chris Letang settles it down. 35 seconds to go from Columbus. Evgeny Malkin swings it into the Jacket zone. Near corner for Mantha. Plays it along the end wall. Provorov kicks it over to the far side for Miles Wood. It's pitched out to the neutral zone, out of the reach of an outstretched Ryan Shea. To the near corner, he'll quickly get it ahead to Mantha. Now Malkin in full flight over the Jackets line. Slows down at the near point. Saucer past Chris Letang. Far circle. Fires. Saved by Jet Greaves. He didn't know where the rebound was, but it was right in front of him. And 12.4 seconds to go from Columbus. We're still tied at 3.
Oh, what a chance for Chris Letang to possibly be the hero in the dying seconds. And how about that play by Evgeny Malkin? As he picked the puck up in the neutral zone and he backed off Provorov. And then he turned his back to Provorov and he's kind of backing into Provorov. And great vision by Gino while fending off Provorov, gaining the zone, and then sending that cross-ice backhand saucer pass to Chris Letang.
Sid will take the draw against Monahan to the left of Jet Greaves. 12.4 seconds to go here from Columbus. Russ to his right, Hayes to his left. Columbus wins the draw. Provorov tries to chuck it out. Stays alive. Far point. Chris Letang, a shot just goes wide. Over to the near half wall. Charlie Coyle's got it. He'll sweep it out to the neutral zone. Kevin Hayes with it. And that will do it in regulation here from Columbus. But the Penguins mount a 2-goal comeback in the third to tie things up. Sidney Crosby's on hat-trick watch, and we are headed to overtime. The Penguins are looking for their first win post-regulation when we come back on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Yingling Traditional Lager, a beer that, like true legends, stands the test of time. Brewed by the same family for nearly 200 years, it's a crisp amber lager with a bold, smooth flavor that's perfect for game day. Whether you're cheering from the stands or watching from your favorite bar, Yingling is the taste of tradition. Yingling, legends stand the test of time.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are home for the holidays. Start a 5-game home stretch at PPG Paints Arena on Tuesday, December 9th against the Anaheim Ducks. Here they come into the Leaf zone. It's Crosby, far half wall, over to Carlson in the circle. He scores! First goal of the year for Erik Karlsson. Carlson, and it breaks the ice here in Canada. A 1-0 lead.
Make sure to come hungry. It's the second Dollar Dog Night of the season. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hockey lives here.
With a shot turned out and parked wide by Aho. He swings a wrap around.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Well, the trend for Jet Greaves and the Columbus Blue Jackets continue. Jet Greaves is playing in his 9th straight one-goal game. And out of those, 8 have gone into overtime. Pittsburgh Penguins are still looking for their first win post-regulation. They're 0-2 in overtime, 0-3 in the shootout. Penguins in their road white sweaters now attacking from left to right with Tristan Jarry in net. He has stopped 26 shots from the Blue Jackets. Jet Greaves has stopped 20 shots from the Penguins. The Blue Jackets in their alternate dark blue jerseys attacking from right to left.
Well, Joe, the Penguins have worked on this in practice. They worked on overtime. They worked on shootout. Let's see how much it can help them to get the bonus point.
Well, Monahan wins the draw. It's him, Werenski, and Luca Pinelli. Out there for the Columbus Blue Jackets with Brian Rust, Sidney Crosby, and Erik Karlsson. Monahan blew a tire. He coughed up the puck, but the Jackets still keep hold of it. Not for the loss of Crosby, though. Down to a knee. He kicks it on net. Greaves keeps it out, though. Werenski drops it back to Pinelli. Gino comes off the bench as Crosby takes off. Pinelli into the Penguins zone. Far circle. Curls around at the point. Walks the blue line. Sends it downstairs looking for Werenski. Chipped away by Malkin. Now stretched up to Brian Rust. He has the other goal for the Penguins. Aside from Crosby's 2. Karlsson in full flight into the Jacket zone. But Rust gives it to Malkin. Near corner. He skates it in behind Greaves' net over to the far side. Will pitch it up along the wall. No, he won't. He'll get crunched into the boards by Provorov. Pinelli taking after the puck. It's loose. As Letang feeds Novak back to Letang. He scores! It's an overtime game-winning goal for Chris Letang. And the Penguins have their first overtime winner, and it comes in Columbus.
If this game isn't a microcosm of Chris Letang's career, I don't know what is. It's just an unbelievable ability to shake off a rough second period, to come out here and score that overtime winning goal. How about the play by Evgeny Malkin? To hang on, get abused by Provorov, and then another Blue Jacket decides to gang up on Evgeny Malkin. The puck squirts out to Chris Letang, and all of a sudden, it's a 2-on-1. The give and go, the best play in hockey between Chris Letang and Tommy Novak, and the quick snapshot by Chris Letang over the left glove hand of Jet Greaves for your OT dub. Wow, what a hockey game.
Let's head on down and bring in Tommy Novak. Tommy, now that we've got you in your afterglow, what's going on in your mind after a win like that?
Yeah, we didn't like our first couple periods there, so just huge effort for our team in the third. I think we really turned it around, and it's great to get the 2 points. Obviously, it's amazing.
How about that goal from Sidney Crosby? What are you trying to do there? What's going on in your mind right there?